All right, let's do a testing. Is sound coming through my headset? I think it is. All right. Yep, it is. Okay. Sound is coming through the headset. Hello and happy Wednesday to you all, wherever you're at. Welcome, welcome. Stream is live today for maybe 3 to 4 hours worth of character progression and POB help for chat. Hopefully you are having a great week and we can help and we can make it better. I think I'm losing words. I think I am losing words. I think that's what's happening to my mind at the moment. I think as I think of words, they come in. Do you know that phrase? Do you have that phrase in whatever country you're from? Or whatever part of the world you're from? In one ear, out the other? Do you have this phrase? Well, I certainly have this phrase in my part of the country where I'm from. My mother used to make fun. My father would make fun. Did you hear us? Did you hear what we said? Did what we said just went in one ear and went out the other? Well, now it's almost like for my brain, it's like the word comes in one side of my brain and then it goes out the other. I don't know. Anyway, today we are going to progress some characters. That's the goal, and we are going to help out with some POB stuff. So I probably should pull up Path of Building. Oh, look at that. I've already got it pulled up. There we go. Let's go over here so that way we've got the import ready to go. Oh, I need to make this smaller. There we go. That looks nice. All right, where was this character at? This character was progressing towards Kitava, I think, right? Yeah, we're in Act 5. We need to go and kill Innocence on our summoner. So that's what we're doing. Let's go warm up with our beautiful summoner. Could I actually be using more of my supports on more minions? Probably. I probably could be. I wouldn't have to be using meat shields on my zombies right now if I didn't want to, but I think it's good enough. I think it's worth it. Just to keep them close to me and protect me basically from projectiles. Because I have just 43% fizz. I'm going to need to get some more fizz somewhere on the tree. Some more fizz mitt. Maybe I go mule and enduring cry or something. Just to grab some endurance charges. Hey, welcome, Steven. You haven't missed a thing, buddy. We just launched for the day. Although yesterday in the first 5 minutes, we did, you know, we did get, what, two support gems? So, you know, if you miss the first 5 minutes of the stream, you basically missed the best part of the stream. Although we did get another support gem. Yesterday was a good day for support gems. Yesterday we got 3 total support gems, so that was pretty good, I think. Damage on these guys is feeling pretty good, speaking of things that are good. Hopefully you guys are having a good week. Welcome, Patrick. Good to see you today. Hopefully you're having a good day. How are your characters progressing, Ben? Patrick, how are things going for your progression towards your goals? Hopefully they're going well. I honestly can't believe we've already been in the league for a month, and I'm just having too much fun. I feel like it's still opening weekend. Is that silly? Is that sad? I don't know. Probably a mixture of both. I feel like it's opening weekend. Sanctum League has just come out. I haven't even really messed with Sanctum all that much. I probably should go in and mess with it a little bit on this character, right? SRS should be good to do Sanctums. I was thinking, here's what I was thinking about late last night when I woke up in the middle of the night, because as you get older, your bladder can hold liquid at shorter intervals. You need a break to your water tank, as it were, to the proverbial water tank. And so what I thought of last night when I woke up during my midnight awaking, due to my geriatric nature, I went in to use the restroom that is near Mrs. Draconis and my bedroom. And as I went in, there's a mirror. There's a mirror. Because the sink to our restroom is actually not in the restroom itself. It's not in the water closet, as it were. It's actually elsewhere. And when I was on my way into the water closet, I saw myself in the darkness. Only for a brief moment in this mirror. And I realized in that brief moment that I have been doing everything all wrong with SRS because I've been going for damage and I've got SRS, Feeding Frenzy, Elemental Army, and Multi-Strike. But what I probably should be doing actually for quality of life purposes is using Spell Echo because I've got a Spell Echo. And I was using that early on, but then I figured, well, my stuff is dying. I probably need to ramp up the damage and the survivability on what I've got. But I think Elemental Army might be the thing to take out. It's a 10% more multiplier and it gives me a little bit more resistances. But I think if I take out Elemental Army, I will actually see higher amounts of damage because I will have more amount of SRS out. Like right now, my SRS are all dying anyway, right? So I don't even know what this rare does. I need to find him. There he is. Whoa, powerful minions. Okay. Drop down totem. Go fight my totem for a second. There we go. Go fight my totem again for another second. There we go. Oh, he summons totems. That's the problem. Where's this rare? Oh, here he is. Okay, kill this guy. There we go. Alright, watch the caustic. There we go. Alright, let's summon back up some zombies. So I think that'll help with the Innocence fight. I think. If I go with Spell Echo. Just because it should mean that I'll have more SRS up while I need to stay mobile. Because the Innocence fight, I'm notoriously bad on the Innocence fight when I'm playing as a summoner. I found a Gold Rim hat and a Starkonia's. Oh, nice! Dude, you are wealthy beyond compare then. That's fantastic. That's really quite good. Alright, let's use Spell Echo for Elemental Army. And I need another 3-link for blue. I need this to be 3-link. Because then I could go Meat Shield and Elemental Army on my zombies. That would probably help them. If I even had a 2-link blue, I could go... That's going to keep up my Golem a little bit better. So that's a potential. That is a potential. So maybe we do that. Done Elder before going to bed yesterday, so just need another 2 parts of the fragments to try the fight for Uber Elder for the first time. Ooh, nice. Recommendation, I know you didn't ask for it, but I'm going to give it to you anyway, is to try out the fight in Standard before you try it out in League, right? Because in Standard it might feel worse if you brick it, if you're just learning the fight. Just a suggestion, just a small suggestion. Oh my, look at my belt. My belt is awful. What am I low on? Relatively nothing, actually. I don't even need this 6% fire resistance. I could just go with a good life belt. That's got armor and strength on it. So that might be what we choose to do. That's life. So that's 42 life and 16 fire. It's got... This one's actually got a little bit more armor on it. It's going to be a little bit better. A little bit overall better. Man, those are some terrible gloves. But they are 22 fire resists. Do I have better gloves? No, these are my early leveling gloves. Do I have better gloves? That's 172 armor on those, so those are actually better gloves than these. Wow. Oh, those were the gloves that we were trying to roll, weren't they? Oh, man, that was the other day. Oh, this chest piece needs to be replaced. It's got 74 life on it. And it's got double resistances, but that needs to be replaced. That really needs to be replaced. You're not even coming close to your SRS cap. Spell Echo is probably the play. Thank you, Chris. See, I think so. I think that's what we do. So Spell Echo is going to help a little bit. And the Spell Echo dropped with quality, so it actually, you know, does nothing for me. But otherwise, supported skills would deal a little bit more increased damage. Did you get a gem tab? No, I didn't. I did not. Where's the purchase? I need to get it when the tabs go back on sale again. Where is it? Stash tabs? What does it look like? Preview video. Oh, that looks nice. That's pretty hot. And you can search it too. That's pretty awesome. I'm gonna have to get that. All right, so I'll probably buy a supporter pack when maybe at the beginning of February. It's probably when I'll buy a supporter pack, because what is it, January right now? I don't really play standard, and pretty sure I don't have fragments there to open it. Oh. Well, that's fair then. That's fair. I would just recommend in that case, if you don't have standard to try on, I'm just saying that I'm only saying this out of an attempt to be a friend to you. So take it for what you will. If you can't test on standard and you only have on league your options to play it, then I would watch a couple of fights. I would watch a couple of people fighting that fight, like a couple of times. And I would go also, depending on what style of learner you are, I would go read the wiki entry. So that way you can identify, hey, what are the different moves that I need to be aware of? What are the slams? What are the big fizz hits? What are the spells? What are the phases, like, of the fight? And maybe you've already done that. So maybe I'm just telling you to do something that you've already done and you're feeling confident, and that's great. And if you're feeling confident and you're ready to rock and roll and you're not worried about bricking it or whatever, even if you do brick it on your first attempt, you know, so be it. But it's just whatever you can do going into it, right? That's going to make you feel more confident. I want you going in there having success. I don't want you coming out feeling like it was a bad time. And success can be multiple different things as well, by the way. Success could be, hey, I bricked the run, but I learned a whole lot. Like, I learned a lot about my character. I learned what I need to do next. That can be something as well. What is with the purple aura? What is with the purple aura, guys? Increased AoE. What has the purple aura? Leeches life. Extra chaos. Okay, and overwhelms. It's like, what is that? Whenever I see purple on the screen, I just instantly assume that it's going to be exploding purple crystals, and I'm going to die. Speaking of which, a lot of the time, minions, when minions get released, they'll have an ability that we don't have yet. And then eventually that ability will become available to the player. It'd be kind of cool if we could have exploding crystals. That whenever we get hit by something, it pops up crystals. That would be kind of cool. Play a character that constantly gets hit and constantly creates crystals underneath the target that's hitting it. That'd be kind of cool. It'd be like another auto-targeting style of gameplay. Oh, drop down Decoy Totem. Decoy Totem is so good. Drop it down again. Get the SRS out there. Decoy Totem again. Decoy Totem again. Man, why are my SR... Do I not have minion accuracy? Is that my problem? Because they changed that not too long ago, right? Where minion accuracy actually is a pretty big... Oh, and they blind as well. So that would probably impact my accuracy. Is that not a thing? I need to go check my POB real quick. Let's import my own character. Should be the last one, Witch Draconis. Okay, SRS. Why doesn't it tell me my SRS chance to hit? Show minion stats. I could have sworn accuracy mattered. No. I could have sworn. Am I wrong on this, guys? Have I just been out of the loop? Does it not matter anymore? Minion chance to hit is 100%. What's up, Epi? DPS, baby? Right? Like, it seems like... Yeah, it seems like we're doing fine. How big is their health pool? Its health pool is 130, 1385. If I just go over here and spend a few passive points on minion instability, how much damage does that add? Hit DPS is 1800 on minion instability. Maybe I do that because they're dying a lot. Yeah, skill average 1025, right? I need to get some more increased. I need to have like up around 400 increased, is that what I think I want to have? But I'm going to need to use a minion jewel for that. Okay, so that would be some damage. They don't show the minion stats very well. No, they don't, but there's some of them in there that you can get at. Don't think it matters much for SRS. I forget when that was, but there was a time... There was a time where accuracy actually mattered for them. So, and they added on to the masteries, minions have 250 to accuracy rating. It wasn't that long ago that that was a thing. That, like, you wanted to have minion accuracy because it mattered. But this is how good, by the way, I was ranting the other day about how they've murdered, look at what they've done to my boy. They've massacred my boy. About what they did with Unnatural Strength, how minions have Unholy Might. This is how Unholy Might, this is how good it is as an Ascendancy node. It's so good you can get it with a 25% chance gain for 4 seconds on kill with the offensive mastery tree. So, like, I understand it's more consistent if you just minions have Unholy Might. I understand that's more consistent. I'm not saying it's less consistent. My point is just as a stat, it's not super duper valuable. All right, so let's actually come over here. Because with 2 more passive points, I can connect these and then respec these 3. So. Well, no, because I was going to say I was going to go in here, wasn't I? That's what I was doing. Okay. This is the disadvantage of playing 6 different characters at the same time. Alright, so let's refund this passive. We just wasted a refund passive point. Oh well. Alright, here we go. Golems have 15% increased life, and golem effect is going to be bigger. That's what we were trying to do. So scale up our golems, get 2 golems out. That'll be good. That'll help a little bit. See, they're doing damage there. It's not that they're missing. It's that they're dying too often. Which I don't have... where is it? Up here. I don't have the Death Attunement wheel. But I do already have a lot of the Spiritual Command wheel. Right, I've already got Redemption. So they're regaining 1% of their life, right? Oh no, not yet, Righteous Army. I need to get that too. Man, I'm so split on my tree. Mine don't die, really. I can't tell if they're dying or their time is up. That's fair. That's good, though. Mine are definitely dying, though. You're seeing it when we go into a fight with, like, a yellow or a whole pack of blues. My SRS are definitely actually dying. Ooh, Assassin's Mark. It's kind of spooky. He's got, like, GMP or something. He had Greater Volley or something there. Whatever that was. He was throwing some extra magma balls at me. Does anybody remember the chain magma orb build? Does anybody remember that? When you'd stack up a whole bunch of chains. And you could use, like, Unleash. And you just unleash, like, a gazillion projectiles at your target. That was a fantastic build. I forget when that was. If that was, like, 3.14 or 3.13. But that was a fun build. See, look at this. The SRS are dying. Relatively frequently. The zombies definitely die quickly. It's not that I can't kill things. It's just that stuff is dying, which if your minions are dying, then minion instability would help with damage. It would help with clear. If they're going to die anyway. Oh, I'm getting a little bit of that server lag. What's going on, server? Why are you being this way, server? That was before it became Rolling Magma. Oh, is that... Did they change the name of it? Oh my goodness, I'm so out of the loop. My brain is just not here at all. It doesn't exist. I didn't even realize that it was a name change. I thought it was a new skill that was introduced or like a complete rework of it. But maybe that makes sense. Yeah, it used to be called Magma Orb, right? It was Magma Orb and you could kind of shotgun. Kind of. Not totally, but you could do some good projectile shenanigans with it with chain. And you got the unique amulet that was +1 chains. I forget what that one's called. I can see it in my mind, but I don't remember what its name was. See all these SRS dying? It's not just that they're expiring, they're dying. I should probably grab some more skill effect duration too. But I'm not sure where I'm going to get some more skill effect duration. So I think this build, the more I play it, the more I'm thinking it actually drops down in the tiers of like ease of play. I think it's still very comfortable, very safe because I love playing minions. But I think the Trapper does the best damage. I think the Cold Dot Hierophant probably was just the smoothest all the way around. I think Righteous Fire does less damage, but it feels tankier. And so even though you don't do as much damage, you feel like you're at risk less. If that makes sense. And most of that's just because of armor. Because most stuff in the game has got a physical component to it. Even if it also has an elemental component, a chaos component, whatever. So having armor is good. Alright, we gotta be careful when we come up here because there's all of the different packs of magic. A whole bunch of different magic packs up here. So just send out SRS, have them do their thing. There we go. Don't bring everybody back to me. You know, let's not bring everybody back to me. Thank you. There we go. I still call it Magma Orb, to be fair. Oh, there you go. Just like curses, I almost never call them hexes. Yeah, that's true. That was one that I didn't quite understand. I didn't quite understand. Looking back on it, definitely did not understand that whole reworking for curses and hexes. It feels like they redid everything. Like, looking at it from this angle, this is probably horribly short-sighted. But it feels like they redid everything just so that way they could have, like, Bane. That's kind of what it feels like. Maybe that's unfair. That's probably totally unfair. Just because, you know, Bane came out at the same time doesn't mean that that was the reason for everything. But it's, looking back on it, it's like, okay, so we did all these changes to hexes, to curses. And what was the outcome of it? Like, do players use curses more? Do players use curses less? What was the objective? Was the objective just to get one new skill? Like, what was the goal? Changes hurts brains, so we keep with the old side of things. That's at least true for me. It hurts my brains. No, the light. It hurts our brain. Oh no, my flasks are full. Alright, so we need to turn some of these in. Do I have any greater? Got some greater life flasks. Do I have some grand? Do I have some grand stuff? Wasn't that just grand? There we go. What else? I've got grand mana flask. Grand mana flask. Oh, that's immunity to blood. I'm going to use that for now, I think. Oh, what am I missing? Oh, only 2 of the grand. Nope, I don't have another grand. It's because I'm using it. What else? There we go. Got some larges. Oh, I didn't actually trade it. Silly me. Alright, now I've got some grands. There we go. Now we've got 3 grands to trade in. Alright. Yep, that's good. Okay. Let's go ding another level. And farm chamber Emerson's maybe until we're like 50. Does avoiding bleeding work on corrupted blood? I'm pretty sure it does. I'm pretty sure that's like the whole point of it. Right? Doesn't remove bleeding, also remove corrupted blood? I was fairly certain of that. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, it's its own thing. Okay, never mind. Never mind! I thought they worked together. Okay, so then Dominus's bleed effect is just bleed. It's not corrupted blood, right? Am I remembering that right? Because if you go into Dominus with a bleed flask, you're fine. Like, you can stand out without being underneath the protection of the proximity shield. Wasn't Bane on Synthesis League along with Soul Rend? Was it? Did Bane just feel like it got reintroduced with the reworking of curses? Maybe that was the purpose. Maybe the purpose was, hey, we launched Bane. Not enough people are playing it. It feels awful. That's possible. Ooh, hey, that hurt. If you notice, the flask says both. Oh. This one says grants immunity to corrupted blood. You're right. You're right. You're right. Hey, when you're right, you're right. Did they change that? Is that a change? Everything I don't understand since I've come back is just, I'm just blaming it on a change. That's the most boomer old man thing to do, but I'm doing it. They must have changed this. Back in my day, we didn't have it this way. Oh, fire and ignite resistant? Come on, dude. These guys are going to be forever to kill. Look at this. I'm consistently having about 10 SRS up. What's duration? Where's there some duration effect? See, this is all elemental duration stuff. That's Brand's skill effect. Isn't it skill effect duration? Yeah, it's skill effect duration. It's right here for enduring bond. Where else is there skill effect duration? No, that's auras. Those are links. Those are auras. Potency of will, that's where it is. It's down here. This is recovery rate for war cries. Okay, and down here. Window of opportunity and exceptional performance. So we could grab that. This is only a few passives away. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could grab that. That would mean the SRS stay out longer, and it would mean our flesh offering would last longer. That would be the two beneficial components. Hey, you guys go fight my minions. More fire and ignite resistant guys. What the heck? What is the meaning of all this? What is the purpose? Alright, is there another one up here? Nope, we already fought him. I thought it was the same before as well. I used a Pepe shield on CI to cancel out bleeds, but I kept dying from corrupted blood. That's right. Oh my gosh, corrupted blood was like the worst killer on CI builds. I had a buddy who refused to play CI builds for a long time. I just thought it was bleeding, but it's corrupted blood. There you go, you learned something new. Or in my case, you're so bad at remembering things. You learn something new every day, but sometimes you learn the same thing over and over again every single day. Oh, man. As long as my SRS stay up long enough for my decoy totem to refresh, that's really the happy mixture here. Does my decoy totem stay out long enough that I can refresh its duration or refresh its life while still summoning SRS? That's really what we got going on here. That's the trick. That's the key. Meanwhile, my poor zombies, they've got this skin effect that makes them look all bronzish. Same for my golem. Everything looks cool and bronzy. But what they don't realize is that they're all being insulted because it means that they're super low division players in League of Legends. Which is true of me. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure when Bane came out. Okay, that's fair. I thought it came out with the curse rework, but I could be wrong. Everybody was playing Winter Orb during synthesis, so it doesn't. What? Why more fire and ignite resistant guys? Why? Why? I should just go detonate dead at this point. No, what I should do is use flammability and vulnerability. That's what I should be doing. Look at this. I'm genuinely surprised by how tough the minions are. I'm sorry, how tough the monsters are. I've got Bladebringer too, so they deal less damage. It's going to be helpful to have increased effect off of the golems. That's going to feel good once we get primordial. What is it? Primordial orders? What's it called? Primordial Golem Commander. It's not primordial anything. Sheesh. No, it's probably primordial on the Elementalist tree. Hey, what's up, Dragosi? Welcome, welcome. Good to see you today. I went CI Soul Run and Synthesis. It was amazing. When was the last time CI... That's a good question. That is a good back in my day question. When was the last time CI was the dominant meta? Because at least Hybrid ES was dominant during Metamorph. 3.9. 3.9 it was dominant during Metamorph. But that's an interesting question. When was the last time CI was dominant? I would have to go back and look at my meta-analysis videos to try and find an accurate number. Roughly around Harbinger. What's up, Mouthfeel? Bane was added in 3.6.0. Wow. There you go. So it must have just been that it was such a bad skill on arrival that they had to rework curses in order for it to feel like it was a skill. So there you go. So is that what we're saying? That was the... Oh my gosh. More fire and ignite resistant guys. This entire zone has just spawned. That's been the only roll on all of these magic packs has been fire and ignite resistant. The heck. So Bane must have felt so bad during the time that it first was released in comparison to like Winter Orb and everything else. Because Winter Orb, you could play at CI as well. There were some CI Winter Orb builds out there. Now see, this is what I love about SRS. Oh, finally! A pack that's also fire and ignite resistant. What is this? Is there like a chance in zones to roll like all magic packs have the same stats? Is that a chance now? Oh boy, those guys are doing enough damage to kill my totem rather quickly. All right, but we're slowly chipping them away here. Oh, is there a rare? There is a rare in here, isn't there? I think I'm detecting minion hits. Something? Oh no, it's just prayer guards. Okay. No, there's a buff. There's a buff going on in there. There's a rare somewhere in here. Yeah, there he is. What does he do? Does he heal out? He suppresses foe recovery and he heals allies. No, I'm just going to walk away. See ya. See ya. I don't have to fight you. I'm coming up over here. Yeah. No, I'm going to sneak. I'm going to sneak by ya. This is the stealth gameplay that Heist promised us but couldn't deliver on. Nope, I'm going to drop a decoy totem. You go away. This is stealth gameplay at its finest. I said I should actually interact with this, shouldn't I? I think I lost all my relics, yeah. That was on my necromancer. Alright, get... There we go. Get Feeding Frenzy. Oh, look! More fire and ignite resistant guys. What is this? The mods there tend to have ignite resistant. Yeah, but like everything? Okay, finally there's one guy who didn't have it. There was one guy who said life regen, increased area of effect. Like, what? What is going on in the Chamber of Innocence? Just everybody's fire and ignite resistant? I guess it's a hint for you as the player, right? Hey, this is what you should make sure you're capped out at. You're gonna go fight Innocence, so he's a fiery boy. You should be careful of that. Is it supposed to be a hint? There's extra life. Another benefit of Occultist that some people sleep on is cutting all that regen stuff out. Does Occultist have built-in Frostbomb now? Is that what you're telling me? For enemies? That was almost a full level there. If I would have killed that magic pack in the rare, it probably would have been a full level. My favorite not dealing with this was extra life regen Soul Eater on a rare summoner. Ooh. So he just kept summoning things, and then you kept killing them, and he kept getting bigger. And then you're like, oh no, no, I'm leaving. I'm leaving, goodbye. It's been nice to see all of you. Yeah. Was there anything else that I was looking at? I think I have some minion stuff. Don't I have some minion wands down here? Yeah, I've got a couple minion wands. They're not worth it, though. Now, if they said minions have +1 level, which I do have a +1 level helm, but this helm is really good. Well, really good. It's good for what I'm using it for. Hey, what's up, Raptor? Welcome, welcome. I've restarted the league with an Ice Trap Occultist. Been great so far, so I'm probably going to league start it next league. Oh, nice. Is that tree just mostly going for what? Flat cold stuff in the witch tree? Flat cold damage in the witch tree? But then what are you going to rely on for defenses? See, look at that. A rare that didn't have fire and ignite resistant. That's amazing. That's fantastic. I feel like playing Ruthless has made me care about the passive tree more than I've ever cared about the passive tree in my entire life. It really has. It's made me learn more notables, too. Going like, oh, what is this? Should I actually take this? Is this actually worth it? Oh, I don't have a build that does fire damage right now, but I don't have enough fire resistance, so I guess I'm taking Firewalker. Or something. Something like that. Oh, I'm relatively near this resistance. I know it's suboptimal, but I guess I'm taking it. Man, SRS feel good when they're flying around killing stuff and they're just going fast. And rages his life is lost. Well, let's kill it quick. All good. Just jumped in a little before going to sleep. Right on, man. Well, it's good to see you today. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the video from earlier today. Build guide comparison is out on Explosive Arrow, comparing a build by Ziz and Pulstron and Super Secret Tech. Comparing those 3 guides. That one was pretty fun to make. It was a lot more work than what I initially thought it was going to be. I originally thought, like, oh, this should be relatively easy, right? Just Explosive Arrow. It's just a basic attack ability. You just fire your Explosive Arrow and stuff blows up, right? That's how that works, right? Turns out there's a lot of components to it, and there's a lot of ways you can play it. And all of the ways that those build guide creators made are pretty dang good ways to play it. Alright, so last time we ran through the chamber, everybody was fire and ignite resistant. This time we run through the chamber, nobody is. I'm cool with this. I want more chambers like this. I love SRS, but I can't stand how minions are balanced around having multiple support minions. Yeah. I should be running a War Chief right now, right? To try and give me some frenzy charges. Or try and give my minions, more properly, some frenzy charges. But it's alright. We'll survive without it. I loved it. I was missing something, but watched your video. I realized what? Oh, nice. For your Explosive Arrow build? Nice. See, that's what I really liked, especially about Pulsteron. He's been playing that build for multiple leagues. So, like, I was able to go and watch not just the build guide and not just the build where it's at now, but to see how it's formed and shaped a little bit over time. That's been pretty cool to see. I like that. It's something that I really liked about Kay when Kay was doing summoner content. Like, Kay was constantly updating like one build guide, right? It didn't mean that Kay had like, hey, here's 6 different build guides on 6 different, archetypes. But if you had questions about minions, or if you wanted to see a demonstration of what a particular minion archetype could be like, or a sub-archetype, or a whatever you want to call that. If you wanted to see what Arakali spiders could look like, or if you wanted to see what SRS could look like, or if you wanted to see what zombies could look like, strength stacking zombies, or if you wanted to see what different specters could look like, she was always testing all of the different possible configurations. And so I feel like Pulsteron is a little bit like that, but for EA. Not to that extreme where he's not known for anything else. He clearly does other builds, but it's cool to see that. I like that that long-term approach that gives you an appreciation for not just where the build is at today, but it gives you some historical context of this is where the build has been, this is what's making it good right now. Because I feel like a lot of the time players, it's like in life as well. There are people who are leaders and there are people who are followers. In different categories. We can all be leaders in different things and followers in different ways, depending on our giftings and our abilities. But when players don't understand, this is coming from me, a player who doesn't understand a lot of things about Path of Exile. When a player doesn't understand something, when I don't understand something about Path of Exile, having an explanation, well, this is the way it works, that's helpful. But having background information about why it works that way is even more helpful. We have leveled up. We've gotten a couple of levels here on gems and on our characters. So, as always, farming Chamber of Innocence is good. It's only a level 43 zone. We're only 48. I could farm this for a while longer, actually. Didn't I say farm it until I was level 50? Oh, goodness. These guys are doing damage. Somebody have Soul Eater? Did I see a Soul Eater barrier in there? Did I see that? Fire and Ignite resistant. Trail of Cold. Okay. Makes sense. get these guys back up. Luna Hammer the Faithless. Sick 'em, boys. Bing. All right, level 49. All right, so we now have... So maybe if I go towards minion instability, it would still save me a passive point if I take off these two. So maybe that is something that I do. I could go get some more, where is it? There was another minion life wheel that I was just showing. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's right here. We were just talking about this yesterday. I tried Ziz's build. I'm allergic to dying. There you go. That's what I loved about that build. Being allergic to death. All right, let's go grab Righteous Army actually right now. Let's do that. There we go. So that's going to give us some regen and some damage. And it gives our minions some regen as well. All right. Oh. Is the rare still alive? We killed a rare, but I didn't see that it was a rare that said it summoned minions. Go get them, golems. Alright, so we're level 49. We're sitting pretty for our resistances at the moment. Once we kill Katava, we're going to need to rework our resistances a little bit. You should get a loot filter for all those white items. I should. Eventually I should, right? I've said that the entire month. Today's going to be the day I'm going to get a loot filter, and then I don't get one. Oh, there's a delve. There's a delve node right here, guys. Guys, should I go delve on my necromancer? Oh, man. Maybe there's gem nodes down there, guys. Famous last words. No, I'll just go sideways. I'll just go low level. It'll be easy. It'll be simple. We'll be fine. It'll be safe. Oh, let's do this Harbinger node, guys. This is fine. Harbinger will be easy. We can see the bad guys as they come through. We can summon up enough SRS. We doing damage. Guys, this will be easy. This is fine. Dies on first node. Oh. Well, rip. That character was terrible anyway, and all its gear was bad anyway, right? Coping mechanism. Speaking of frenzy charges on apes, did you see how they normalized how charges affect minions to mirror players? I did not, Chris. Tell me more. Tell me more so we can tell more people about it. I'm thinking I may try Ruthless this weekend. Nice! Welcome, James. Good to see you. Every time I get multiple characters to 94 through 98, I get bored. Yes! Okay, so, James, ladies and gentlemen, we might have another one who's going to come play Ruthless. You know, let's all start chanting, one of us, one of us. So here's the thing, James. You've seen me, you've known me for years, right? You've been around the YouTube channel. You know I like to play multiple different builds, always going back to minions, but multiple different builds. You know I like to farm top-end content. You know I like to map. You know I like to do magic find. You know I like to take on endgame bosses. I like to play PoE. That's just a general summary statement that is true. However, when I burned out on PoE, I think part of the reason why I burned out on it and wanted to take a break, in addition to real life things, also meaning I had less time, but part of that factor to me saying, well, I'm not going to make time for PoE. Other things can creep in and take up my hobby time. Part of the factor for that was that mapping to me at a certain point became unattractive. It was no longer worth it to me for my hobby time to go, yeah, sure, let's map again. Eventually that became old news. What am I doing here? I'm playing Tetris the wrong way. There we go. Eventually that became old news. Can I fit this? Nope. So when mapping became old news, I didn't realize, I didn't have the words to put that into an expression to say, hey, mapping is old news. And I want the campaign to be fun again. But I think even thinking back now to like when Delve was released, when the Delve event, not when Delve was originally released, but when the Delve event came out and it was like, hey, you can level your character just with Delve. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Maybe GGG will have another way where we can level our characters, and this will be a new way to play PoE that's quite enjoyable. And I was really hopeful for that. And obviously Grinding Gear Games went, hey, we're not going to make this a full dedicated mode. You need to go through the 10x story campaign. And that's okay, by the way. That they made that decision. But looking back on it, I was looking for a different way to make it so that way gear and progression and the passive tree and me and my character and the story of playing Path of Exile actually felt, I'm going to use a cliche word, weighty, right? It felt like it mattered, the decisions that I had to make and the decisions that were upcoming. Right now, I am playing in Ruthless, in the Chamber of Innocence. I am level 49 in a level 43 zone. And all of these passive points feel like they have been hard worked for and they have mattered. All of them. Even the passive points to get me going towards a notable passive node is like, okay, this is getting me towards a notable, and I need to be careful about the area that I'm farming because I don't want to die. Now, some of that is because I'm also super masochistic, James, and I'm playing on hardcore and I'm playing on Soul Self-Found, right? So your experience, if you're playing Trade Ruthless, will be a little bit different than my experience on Soul Self-Found Ruthless. If you're playing, softcore, it'll be a little bit different. But I think to me, and for me, what Ruthless has done is it's given me not just a game mode to play that I really enjoy, but it's given me words and language to explain and express what I have been missing in Path of Exile for several years. Like, one of the coolest things in my Path of Exile playing days was when Oriath got released. And the campaign was like all of a sudden fun and fresh again. And it was like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to play this. And it's not just the mapping experience. It's not just, oh, there's one new boss who drops, 4 new items and one of them's good and the other 3's bad. And if you're playing in Trade League, you can just trade for it anyway, so... Right? I was looking for something that would make it so that way as I was filling out a character... Every decision, not just the last 25 decisions, but every decision that I made would feel like it mattered and it was important to the character. And you have that in Ruthless. In Ruthless, you get a support gem to drop and you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to re-roll my entire build around this support gem because my damage with one support gem feels so much better than just with none. Oh my goodness, I just dropped a 4-link. Imagine if I could ever actually fill that. That's what I was saying at the start of my Ruthless experience. And now, like, I've got it. I've got a 4-link on this character. My champion's got a 4-link. My Righteous Fire guy's got a 4-link. And it feels really good. Now, is some of that, it's RNG and whatever not? And yes, it is. So in that regard, sometimes it feels bad. When you get bad support gems, that can feel bad. But the fact that you can turn your support gems in and get another support gem of the same color, that's at least something. Items that are just absolutely garbage, like this, or where is it? Or this. Like, what's my character actually using off of this? Life, a little bit of regen, fire resistance, armor. But those rolls, like, I could literally go out and for 1 chaos buy gloves in a Trade League environment that, like, I could wear for the entire campaign. And you can't do that in Ruthless. And, well, if you're playing SSF. And that's exciting. You can't just craft. I know that sounds counterintuitive, like, oh, iron, that sounds so strange that, like, you have less options and that sounds like more fun. But sometimes it is. There's a reason why, I've said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it in relationship to Ruthless. There's a reason why McDonald's, one of the largest corporations in the world and most successful financial corporations in the world, gave people less options. There's something called options overload. You can call it whatever else you'd like. Too many options, selection, being overwhelmed with choices. But that's a real thing. That's a very real thing. And so for us as players in PoE, having a few less options can actually be a good thing. Can be. For our enjoyment. Because it means that when you're, you know, in Act 1 and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't think I can take down Mervale with, you know, 0 cold resistance because I've gotten 0 cold resistance gear to drop. You go, oh, I dropped a Sapphire Ring. That's awesome. Like, when have you ever been excited to drop a Sapphire Ring in your life? How many times have I said while playing Ruthless, this is better than Amir? Because it's been better than Amir for us in a solo self-found environment. Like, it's been really fun. Anyway, so that's my pitch to you, James. That's my pitch. I'm also a super masochist. A part of me enjoys failing while learning. There you go. Boom. You and I are right. Cut from the same cloth. You know? This is a Chaos Wheel, isn't it? Yeah, it's Curse Duration. Okay. All right, so what else could I do here? I could do 16%, 16% for minion damage. I could go down to skill effect. I could come over here and get minion stability. I could get a minion mastery. We could come over here and just get 8% increased life. I could come over here and get MOM. That would make me a little bit tankier. Did I get a life? I've not gotten a life mastery either yet. I have 2,000 life without a life mastery. That's kind of impressive, actually. This is a lightning wheel? No, that's an ES wheel. Ooh. I could come down here through Sanctity. Would I want to come down this way and grab, like, combat stamina? I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to come down here onto this side of the wheel yet. If I do. This feels really dangerous to go down this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you've got the Sound Life wheel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's the same distance. This is just more defensive. This is going to give me more skill effect. Duration. What's going to help me against Innocence? That's another good question, too. I should just come this way. Because once we fill this in, I can move these 2 passive points around. Okay. Do I want to change anything before Innocence? I think probably not. We're officially level 50. Can we kill Innocence at level 50? McDonald's gave people less options because fewer options equals faster prep time. Oh, there's lots of reasons behind it. There can be multiple factors for why something is a good thing for a company. But giving people less options not only means faster prep time, it also means that people come through your counter line faster, right? They're able to come in, know what they want to order it, and then give them your money faster. Started playing Ruthless SSF Hardcore today after playing SC since watching your videos. Wow, Kevin! Welcome! That's really, really cool! Guys! One of us. One of us. I found Unleashed support on my SRS. Nice, Steven. There you go. The less choices you have, the more meaningful each choice is. Yes, it's why basketball. It's why in basketball, a player... I'm going to talk sports ball just for a second. It's why in some sports, one player can have a greater proportional influence on the outcome of a game than in others. So, for instance, in soccer, you have, 11 players on the field? 11 players on the pitch? In basketball, you only have 5. So, proportionally, having one really, really good basketball player can be a really large difference maker. Having just one really good soccer player, proportionally, it can be a difference maker. I'm not saying, hey, you need worse players and you'll perform better. But proportionally, in a game like basketball or even hockey, where there's less players active on the field at a time, there's less variables, right? Each player represents a variable to the outcome of the game. And with less variables, it means that there's greater weight on each of those variables. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so Avarius went down super duper fast. That's good. Let's hope the same rings true for his bigger, nastier, uglier brother. Okay, I have a decoy totem on him. Alright, he's phased. This is good. This is really good. Guys, maybe you don't need to overlevel to level 50 to kill Innocence. Maybe. We'll find out. Tune in next time on Bald Man Gets Burned. Or Bald Man is Beautiful. Oh boy. Here we go. Drop down totems. Drop down some corpses. Okay, he's already phased. This is fantastic. This is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. Usually my minions are dying when I'm coming into the Innocence room. I think it's because I've over leveled by so much. I've got so many wheels that are helpful right now. This is great. This is exactly what I want a boss fight to be like. Hey, I'm coming in and phasing him. I'm okay with that. I will not complain. Especially against Innocence. This guy's ripped so many of my characters. Down goes Innocence. Alright. Die, you glowy son of a gun. Alright, let's go back to Lonnie. Oh, thank you for the uncarved gemstone. Let's put this in our stash. Let's go sell this other stuff really quick. Do I want to ID this? Yes, I do. 60 maximum life and fire resistance. Those are two really good rolls. I'm not going to save them. Alright, go back to Innocence. He dropped me 2 rares. Thank you for the 2 rares, buddy. Let's watch the coolest cutscene in the game. The only cutscene in the game. Kitava's like, I'm Kitava. Back in my day, you guys weren't allowed to kill Innocence. I'm going to have to come out and slam the ground. Alright. I just need different gloves. Nice. Life in North Korea must be so meaningful. No, I said less choices. Well, actually, in some regard, in an absolute sense, Kappa, you're right. In an absolute sense, each of your choices is much more meaningful. It doesn't mean that it's a better experience. Always. Right? It's not an absolute rule. What in damnation have you done? Having a tyrant sit over top of you and say, hey, you know, do this, don't do that. I mean, that's not even choice, right? Actually, maybe that's the way that I would respond to that. Is there's not just less choices. Maybe there's no choices in some regard. So in PoE, that is kind of a funny point of comparison, though. Comparing McDonald's and PoE to life in North Korea. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if those are the same categories and scales, but in an absolute sense, I guess I can see your point. I can see your point. That having no choices doesn't mean that it's a better experience. I agree with you there, right? You can push the argument to absurdity and say, look, this in its furthest extent of it, it doesn't work, right? There is a limit to it. I'm trying to farm Abyss now to get the Amanu's Gaze jewel. Man, I can't even say that. Amanamu, right? Break it apart into 2 words. Amu. Is that fair? Hey, Iron, I normally don't do Abyss content. Do you know how spawning the liches work for the Abyssal Depths? I read it something having to do with timing. But is it the depth itself? Oh, let's find out real quick. I think... Oh, I shouldn't do this while I'm active in the game world. Let me get to the waypoint, and then we'll check. This is what I remember from my slightly balding memory. What I can remember. Abyssal Depths, you could sometimes tell if there was a lich in an area based off of the music when you went down into the Abyssal Depths. So that's one thing. Ooh, I'm taking some damage there. Don't actually do damage to me, buddy. Come on, Kato. Why are you actually doing damage? There we go. You should be dead. So music once you actually entered the depths. But you're talking about making depths actually spawn to increase the chance of spawning depths. I'm pretty sure, doesn't the Atlas tree have something about Abyss and encountering abyssal stuff? Those of you who have played with the Atlas since the Atlas passives have come out, can anybody help us on that? Aren't there Atlas passives that help increase the chance that liches spawn? I think that's a thing. I'm not sure if it's still on the Ruthless mapping passive tree, but I think that's a thing, if I remember when I was looking at it on Standard before League start. I thought that there was a way to target farm Abyss liches, or to increase the chance that liches would spawn. I thought there was a way. Manamu. There you go. See, Clay, you nailed it, as always. I thought it was random. I think it is random, but I think there is weighting that you can put on it with the tree. So I have the node that gives you a 100% chance to spawn a lich, but I've done a couple where the lich isn't in the depths. So I'm not sure, like, if I took too much time to get to the boss or if it didn't spawn to the depths in time. Well, okay, so I think there is a timing aspect to Abyss. That could be from the League. Again, this is from my memory. That could be from the League itself. But I thought there was a timer that was attached. But that timer might have been attached to the treasure chest. Man, when was Abyssal League? You guys are asking me to remember, like, a long time ago. Well, no, you're not. You're actually asking me for updated information. And I'm only referencing things that I can try and remember from a long ago. So my apologies. Let's get to the waypoint here. Awaken Depths is a node in the Atlas tree. Okay, and does that help spawn? Isn't 100% an increase stat? Oh, that's a good point, Tinda. It's probably an increase off of the base. Right? So it doesn't mean you're guaranteed to spawn. Might mean that there's a much higher chance of it spawning, but it doesn't mean that it's guaranteed. Was Abyss 3... Was Abyss 2? No, Abyss was 3 something, right? Abyss came out after Oriath, or was that still before Oriath? Oh, man. Let's talk about the Wayback Machine. Oriath was 2017, right? Maybe was it 2016? No, Oriath wasn't 2016. Was it? I don't even know. Why do years even matter? In a post-2020 world, time no longer matters. Boy, doesn't that sound like a statement that some villain in Path of Exile would make? Time doesn't matter. The world is an illusion, Exile. Abyss was 3.1. Wow, there you go. It was the first league after. Okay. So let's go take a look here. All right, Abyssal Depths is a side zone that can spawn in abysses in zone level 70s and up. It contains abyss monsters. The boss in that area is either a Stygian Spire or an Abyssal Lich, the latter which will drop unique items. Yeah. So it's level 70 in the zone. You got to be in a level 70 zone. Just had a chance to bleed support drop just before going into Brutus. Nice! Use Puncture. It'll make it easy. If you've got Puncture. If you don't have Puncture, that's okay. But there you go. Puncture makes Brutus so much easier. Just because you can have a bow and you can remain distant and keep running him around in circles. Okay, in rare cases, an Abyssal Lich may spawn as the boss instead and provide an extended boss fight. At 3 points of the fight, the Lich disappears, blah, 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 blah. Abyssal Liches, ooh, I almost said a bad word. Abyssal Liches can only be encountered in a tier 3 map or higher. My apologies, we almost weren't a family-friendly stream there for a second. Hopefully none of my children were watching. Liches include, yep, we know the Liches. Liches are guaranteed to drop Stygian Vise and blah, 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 blah. I want to say there was a timer when Abyss League came out. I want to say there was a timer, like, for either the end of the abyss to open up into either being a chest or to being a depths. I want to say that might... Clearing the enemies out of the last pit will spawn an abyssal trove, which can be open for loot. Yeah, and instead of an abyssal trove. I must be remembering this wrong. The spire can also drop the jewel that you're looking for. Oh, nice. So the timer is in the boss fight itself? Yes. PoE likes increasing percent chances by other percents of percentage chances. This game is made by insane people. It is. And it's played by insane people. Hello. Hi. Oh, man. I liked Abyssal League. Abyssal League was fun. Everybody complained about having to backtrack, but I thought it was fun. I thought it was a good league. But I'm also crazy, so. Alright, Bannon. Alright, Killatula. What else do I need to do? Kitava's Torments. And then I think that's it. And then we go forward and we kill Kitava. Which our damage seems to be good on bosses. Our damage on rares, not as good. But our damage on bosses seems to be okay. Alright, I've got 2 uncarved gemstones, so I could use vulnerability or flammability if I really wanted to. So if you've never encountered a lich, how to describe it? Should I get you a box? Should I describe it for you in paint? I can bust out paint and show you the way how it works. So the phases of the boss for the lich. This was way back in the day. This was right after Oriath, so this was actually some pretty cool tech back in the day. When you're fighting the lich, what'll happen is, if you spawn a spire, right, there's just the spire. But if you spawn a lich, there will be the lich fight that you actually encounter in the larger zone, right? Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go to paint. I gotta go to paint. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. Let's make this a black background. And there we go. There we go. Hopefully that's less bright. Okay, and it actually fits because it's the Abyssal Depths. Okay, so here's our lich, right? So here's our lich character. Right, we're gonna draw. I'm the lich, and he's gonna have like a little. He's gonna have a little crown. See, we're gonna have a happy little lich right here. Happy little lich. We're gonna give him some little lines on his little crown. But you know, they might not just be lines on a crown. They might be ancient hair. You know, that's frayed. We're not gonna give him any ears, but we are gonna give him some little eyes. We'll give him 2 little eyes. He's got little. One of them's going sideways, one of them looking up. That's kind of how you get the trademark crazy look, right? If you're going to do cartoon drawings. Okay, then we're going to go back. He's got an arm here, and you can tell it's an arm because it's bent. Arms have elbows. See, he's got legs, and legs have knees and feet. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That leg is a broken leg. I'm so sorry, Amanamu. Oh, that's a broken leg right there. All right, so here's how the fight goes. This is the main arena where you're going to encounter the lich, right? Main arena, main zone. Here we go. Lich. We're going to call this the lich zone. Inside the lich zone, you fight the guy. He does a whole bunch of moves. I forget which one his name is, but he's going to fire off like a whole bunch of little crystals, kind of like the purple crystals that killed my necromancer and that show up from time to time. He's going to fire off a whole bunch of these, right? So we're going to make a whole bunch of these, right? If you run over them, think of them like Malagaro. When you're in Act 4 and you're about to kill Malachi and you run over the Malagaro purple crystals or purple patches and they explode with a little bit of physical and chaos, think of that in the Lich Zone. Okay? So he does a whole bunch of this. All right. Then what's going to happen is when you phase the Lich, all right, when you phase him, here's his health bar. Ooh, this needs to be, white and then I think red on the fill, right? It needs to be red on the fill. Solid fill with red. Oh, that needs to be opposite. It needs to be opposite. There we go. Okay. So when he gets down to X number of HP, right? When he's at his thresholds of whatever, 75% or 50% or whatever the thresholds are, he is going to then run away. And he will run away into other zones. These other zones, there's, I think, 4 of them. Are there 4 phases to the fight? I think there's 4. These other zones are each going to have a spire, okay? Each of these zones have a green spire. Oh, we should do the triangle. This is not a triangle, by the way. This is a rectangle. My apologies. This is what I said at the beginning of the stream. I have no words today. I don't know where they all went, but they're gone. Okay, each of these spires has a timer. Each of them, all of them, they all have timers. The timer says, I believe 1 minute is what the timer says. 1 minute until explosion. 1 minute later. 1 min. So 60 seconds, I think, is what they say. Am I right on this, guys? Are you guys catching this? Are you guys making sure that I'm saying all this wrong? Guys, what if this isn't actually a component of Path of Exile? What if this is for another game entirely? What if that's how wrong my brain is today? Oh, this one should be on the other side as well. My apologies. My artwork is getting lost with all the rest of my words. Okay, so these 4 spirals, you go in there, and guess what? They've also got HP bars. You go in, and when you kill these bad boys, right? When you take these bad boys out, guess where you're going to get kicked back out into? You're going to get kicked back out into, that's right, whoop, you're going to come all the way back in to the Lich Zone, and you're going to fight him again until you get him down another third or half or whatever. And then he's going to run away. He's going to be like, ha ha, I sneak away. And guess what? He's going to run away. He will run to the spot that will open up into the doorway to the next zone. Guess what? You kill the next zone. And then guess what? You leave the zone, come back in, fight him, hit his bar again, and he goes, ha ha ha, I'm going to run away. You go into the zone, you kill the next spire, blah, blah, blah. Okay, rinse and repeat. And then you eventually kill the Lich. Oh, this is how we're going to kill the Lich, by the way. We're going to give him red eyes. Bleh. Right? He's got red cross eyes. Bleh, he's dead. Oh, and we have to say this is an empty health bar now. He now has an empty health bar because he's dead. Oh! And he drops items for you. Here you go. He's going to drop an item. And it's going to be a really good item. It's going to be exactly what your loot filter was looking for. Right? This is what an item looks like on your loot filter when it's in the really great form, right? Yay, item. Right? Ta-da! Oh, and it's red, right? Isn't it red when it's Mirror of Calandra? Oh, no! I don't want the secondary color to be red. I want the primary color to be red. Yeah, there we go. Yay, item. And then your loot filter sounds go nuts, and it's like, Mirror of Calandra! Whoa! Yeah! Okay? All right, there we go. End of paint. Oh, boy. All right, does that make sense? Did that work? Whew. We messed around on paint. You know, never let it be said I don't give the people what they want. The people ask me questions. They don't tell me to use paint, and I give them paint anyway. You know, I give the people what they want. And by people, I mean me, in making an explanation as easy as it is for me to make. Please make that a video. Oh, man. There you go. Give it as an explanation. No, I have not died. Mrs. Draconis is joining us. She's heard me laughing, and she's decided to come join us. Come say hello.
Hi.
That's not saying hello. You gotta say hello. There you go. Look, see, you're in the picture. You can wave. You're not wearing a green shirt, so you're not just a floating head. What if she was just wearing a green shirt and was just a floating head?
Cleaning attire.
Oh, okay. Did I miss a message from you?
No.
Oh, okay. You just genuinely wondered if I died?
I was decluttering and bringing trash downstairs and heard you, and I thought, oh no, did he die?
Guys, find somebody who loves you as much as Mrs. D loves me, who comes and checks on you to see if your character has died or not. That's very kind. Very kind. Whew. I don't even know how I would make that into a YouTube video, Dragosi. Oh, do it as a YouTube short? Was that 60 minutes or 60 seconds or what? Not 60 minutes. Hello, I'm Dan Rather here with with a 60 minutes Path of Exile exclusive. We're interviewing the president of New Zealand tonight with several questions, including, has Path of Exile actually made it a huge impact? And in fact, New Zealand is now a tourist destination because Path of Exile is headquartered there. We've also got such hard-hitting questions as, what do you think the next league will be? And do you think Sanctum should go core or not? These and more questions tonight, only on 60 Minutes with me, Man Rather. Oh man, I've completely lost it. I'm going to see if I can clip it. A 60-minute short, yeah. A 60 minutes exclusive. Are you winning, son? Yeah. I am winning, Father. Thank you. Thank you. As long as you're winning, that's all that matters. Oh man, it would be a ridiculously long clip. Also, it'll get like officially, 3 people watching it. It'll be you, me, and my kids one time going, Dad, show us that one time where you used paint to explain something in Path of Exile. Oh man. I have made a series of videos that are joke videos that are awfully done and made in paint as animated films for my kids. Heavy air quotes there. It's not animated at all. It's just me in paint. Doing just what I did there. But it's making little stories for the kids. And they love them. They love them. They demand that I make more of them. I'm like, guys, I was supposed to be doing this as a joke that it was so bad you wouldn't ask me to do another one. Oh. Yeah, it's longer than 60 seconds. That's okay. That's okay. That would actually, that's not a bad idea. Now, here's what's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea to do shorts that explain old content. That's not a bad idea. That introduces old content. Hey, maybe you're new to Path of Exile. What is Abyss? How do you access it? What can it drop for you? Why might you want to farm it? Like answering those sort of questions in a quick format as a short. That might be a good idea. Which I have to give you guys a heads up. I got an email. Some of you I'm sure know this already. But I got an email the other day saying shorts can be monetized, I think, this year. Or shorts are going to be monetized this year by YouTube. So be aware of that. Be very aware of that. You're going to see a lot more people making shorts. And a lot more shorts probably being even more clickbaity than they are. It's YouTube's way of trying to compete with TikTok, I guess. So I've been trying to think about how to do shorts that are actually informative and helpful. Because that's what I like to do. I like to make things that are informative and helpful. So I'm trying to figure that out. I think so for instance, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the template for what we're doing with the build guide comparisons, because people seem to be enjoying those. And I'm going to try and make like a short version of a build guide comparison that says, hey, here's 3 different ascendancies, or here's 3 different approaches to this build. If you want more info, here's the longer form video, but here's 2 or 3 stats, that make a difference in this build. And trying to put that into a short form. I also want to put together some longer form discussions on Ruthless, but... Oh, Soul Link. Not good, but... It's not even a support gem, is it? Right? This is an active. It's an active aura link, right? I wonder if it counts as being able to be turned in for a support. Probably not. This is probably just a useless link to me. It's probably an active skill gem, right? You could always ask AI to draw you POE diagrams. Oh boy. Don't you guys realize this is the genesis of like the Matrix and the Terminator movies? Like AI is super scary to me. And how people are using it. I was reading something the other day that said somebody at some secondary, higher education institution had, for their final examination or for their final senior project or for their master's thesis or something, written a program that the university was going to use to detect whether or not other students were using AI programs to write their papers. Like, talk about next level plagiarism. Is it actually plagiarism if you tell a robot to write you your paper? It's probably not technically plagiarism, or maybe it is, I don't know. But it's probably just scammy nonetheless, and you're not going to get a good grade for it. Unless you wrote the bot that was actually, collecting all the data and doing all that. In that case, why are you in college? Why aren't you out just making apps? Making software. Why aren't you designing software? If you can do that for college, why aren't you already doing that professionally? Hey, what's up, Jack? Welcome, welcome. Next build comparison, EK. Oh! What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do an EK build comparison? Are there multiple archetypes to playing EK? You can play EK as a freeze build. What do you think? I like the suggestion. I appreciate the suggestion. Don't be silly. This isn't the beginning of The Matrix. This is the beginning of Terminator. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, Kev. That's fair. Oh, man. That's very fair. All right, what was I doing again with my passives? Here we go. We're coming over here to minion instability. That's what we're doing. And hopefully we won't have to use it, right? Hopefully stuff doesn't die. I think probably the zombies will be the ones to most often use it. But that's okay. Ideally, the SRS shouldn't die. Ideally, they just kill whatever it is that they're interacting with before their duration is up. But there are times where the SRS has died. Oh, like this. This guy's a lightning aura guy. He could potentially kill the SRS. Yep, see, they're dying as they come through. See that? They're standing in the field and they're dying. And once they get through the ginormous, whatever, lightning, righteous fire aura that is. Oh, hey, that actually hurt. I'm shocked. Okay, shocked ground. Is there another rare? Are these minions? No. There is another rare over here. I like the next comparison being Blade Vortex between Poison, Cold Convert, Fire Convert, and Ascendancy. There's a can of worms there. Ooh. That'd be an interesting... That's an interesting suggestion. Do Blade Vortex comparison. There are about 1 billion ways to play Blade Vortex. EK Ignite is the meta one, I think. Okay. I had a really long discussion about this with somebody on my way home on the train, and he asked me if the AI will kill us. My answer was the following. Many of us are afraid of AI because humanity is bad in nature. Because if we were better and do the same thing differently, the AI would not consider us a threat. Okay, that's fair. Chris says, I would say so because the AI has to pull their writing from the data it has access to. That means the style and writing had to already have existed in some form. Yeah, so it is plagiarism then, in that case.
Not all slaves believe Dutula's lies.
Jack says, it's just because I love the build and a lot of people play it. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
We do this for free.
Let's go. Let me go take a look really quick. Because I have not picked what to do next. I actually gave it a shout out on Patreon to our Patreon members to pick the next one that we do. So until our patrons say, hey, do this one, I am open to suggestions from the general audience. But once our Patreon supporters say, hey, do this one, then that'll probably be the next one that we do. So let's look. Ethereal Knives. 4% of the league is playing it. Let me just do a quick comparison. So for SRS, 4% of the league was doing it. For Explosive Arrow, 4% of the league was doing it. So in terms of popularity, EK's roughly the same level. At least for the Sanctum ladder, that is. Okay, so it looks like 98% of people are playing Elementalist. That doesn't look like a pretty broad spectrum. Maybe there are multiple ways to play it, but maybe it's all in the same ascendancy. So that'd be interesting to find out. 80% in hardcore are playing Elementalist. 93% in Sanctum. soft solo self-found. Okay, what about in Ruthless? Is anybody playing it? Is there nobody playing it? 30% are playing as a shadow. Okay, so it's very support gem reliant. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, Elementalist. Okay. So it seems like everybody's playing it as an Elementalist. Doesn't mean that we won't cover it. It just means that any differences that we take a look at we'll have to find what differences there are. What are the genuine differences? Because these are all, look at this, these are all .Nick Knight based builds. These are all just, what is it, Shaper of Flames? Where's the passive tree heat map? Yeah, these are all fire-based builds. Right, this is the fire wheel up here on the top left. Yeah, Holy Fire. These are all fire-based builds. Shaper of Flames, 98% out of those 98% are taking Shaper of Flames. It's like, 2 guys aren't. The issue with EK is the prevalence of strength stacking and or just Elementalist. The build is very much just the same. Yeah. What we want to try and do, so Jack, I appreciate the suggestion, and maybe we'll do it. Okay, maybe I'll get in this and be like, hey, why are there 2 or 3 different ways that players are playing it? But one of the things that I'm trying to do, so compare, just compare. One of the things that we're trying to do when we're bringing these conversations to players is making it so that way players can go, oh, that's why I would make this choice and follow this guide versus make that choice and follow that guide. So when we did, where is it? When we did Explosive Arrow today, if you look at this, 76% are playing Elementalist. Now that is a lot. It still is a significant percentage. But there's already a split with another option champion. Now, Juggernaut, not many, but this is in softcore. Let's go over to hardcore. Look at this. In hardcore, Elementalist doesn't even take the top spot for playing Explosive Arrow. It's then champion, Elementalist drops way down, and Juggernaut's much further up the list. So there's variation, right? There's variation. There really are distinct choices of why players are playing a certain build. And so that's fun to do. That's really fun to take a look at and to observe, I think. And I hope you guys do as well. I think the vast majority of players have said, hey, this is really helpful to take a look at build guides. Because one of the things, this is not indicative of any of the build guides that we've featured, because generally here on the channel, I don't feature build guides that I think are guilty of things that are not helpful. So, for instance, there are some build guides. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to start making content in Path of Exile way back in the day to begin with. There are some... Wow, that was a lot of lag. That was like a shield charged right there. It's like I broke the game. There are some builds out there. Not going to call out anybody by name. But there are some builds out there, both on the forums as well as on YouTube, on Twitch, on various social media platforms, that players come out and they go, this build is super affordable, budget, 40 million Shaper DPS, Uber Elder, Uber Cirrus, whatever the, Uber metric is, whatever the metric is for dealing big time damage. And it's essentially a clickbait title. You go into the path of building, okay? And when you go into the path of building on these supposedly new player budget builds, you look at it and you go, oh my goodness, in their configurations, they have every single possible damage buff to themselves ticked. And then you look at their gear, and it may be true. The build might actually take advantage of all of those configurations, right? That might be what it can do at its top end. But we're talking, what was it? The other day I was watching a video with Grimro. Oh, Grimro was talking about using Arcane Surge. Getting Arcane Surge up to help you with Blade Vortex damage, right? And ways to keep that up. That was something that he mentioned in the video, right? And it's like, okay, you can do that, but are you constantly going to be ticking Arcane Surge up in order to be doing your maximum damage when you're mapping or whatever, right? Like, I understand that there's... It's kind of like in Ruthless, right? I understand in Ruthless there's all these different ways that we can activate damage now that I've played Ruthless for, a month. I understand that there are a lot of different tricks that we can use, like using Infernal Cry. I've never used Infernal Cry before to go, hey, this is genuinely a helpful clear skill. It is really, really helpful. But I just had so much damage before by having multiple support gems and by having decent items. I've never needed to use multiple different active abilities to really lay on damage, right? So that it's something that, I appreciate about Ruthless. It's taught me something about the game. It's a good thing overall. But my point is to bring it back to these sorts of styles of build guides and build templates and build highlight videos that go, yeah, this is super affordable. You can totally do this. You should be playing this. This is how you should want to play Path of Exile. It's super duper fun and give me a break. And a lot of the times in a lot of these videos or in a lot of these build guides, there will be something that's condescending towards other builds or other playstyles. Like, man, does your DPS suck? Have you been following lame guides? Like, do you think that you're just going too slow and everything is just too boring for you? And that's fine. You can say that. You can be a sales guy and say that of other people's build guides and other people's approaches. But I think you also could just say, hey, do you want to do something that does the most possible damage that you could possibly do? You can put it in a positive light. You don't have to rag on somebody else's build or somebody else's playstyle or... Anyway. Okay, so all of those get off my lawn complaints aside. The biggest issue with those sorts of build guides is that new players, or new players to that build, have no idea the sort of shenanigans that are going on, or the sort of level of item requirements that are going on. Not even shenanigans, but just like legit top-tier crafted gear or purchased gear in a trade league. And a new player doesn't know whether or not that's going to be attainable or not. A veteran player might know if it's going to be attainable, but a veteran player might go, well, maybe I can get something close to it. And maybe because I can get something close to it, the build will perform something close to it. So if the build guide says that it tops out at 150 billion Uber Elder DPS, well, maybe I can't afford the mirror tier weapon that this thing has, but maybe if I get something that's a little bit cheaper, instead of doing 150 billion Uber Elder DPS, I will instead do, 150 million. Which, despite being a tenth of the damage, is still enough to obliterate the Uber Elder in like a second. So, I'll settle for that, and I won't spend a mirror on the gear. And they don't realize, okay, you need to spend 6 mirrors on this gear, or this number of divines, or whatever, this number of chaos. They don't understand this is the amount of currency that you're going to have to sink into crafting or purchasing items for this build. This is the order of importance, the order of operations for what you need to upgrade first. These are the very specific links that you need to have in very specific spots and very specific sockets. A lot of the times these builds don't go into any of that. Okay? A lot of the times these builds show off a version of a build that is simply otherwise not attainable or unreachable for a relatively new player to Path of Exile. It's just not. And it's dishonest to say to a general watching public, it's fine to show off your build and go, hey guys, look at what I can do. That's fine. But not educating your player base, and frankly, I've had plenty of people come around here in the G3 community and join the G3 community and go, hey, how do I play this build? Or hey, what's going on with my build? What's wrong with my build? Why does my build not do damage? And players drop their POBs in the build guide help section, or they send me a PM on the forums and they go, hey Iron, can you help me with my POB? And I go, okay, well, what are you following? And they're like, well, so-and-so's guide. I'm not going to name drop people. I'm following so-and-so's guide or such and such's guide. Or I watch this video and I'm going, okay, that's great, but you're playing a build that requires you to have like oodles of currency that, frankly, you're not going to have. That's just... Or, hey, what was your last biggest upgrade? Sometimes I'll ask players. And they're like, well, my last big upgrade was on my unique amulet. And it's like, okay. The unique amulet part of the build is like the most luxurious part of the build. In other words, it's not what makes the build go. So you spent your currency. You did spend a big investment on currency, but a lot of the time builds, like the reason why they're top end on their investment, like the reason why upgrades can be such top end is because the higher you go in Path of Exile, the better your damage, the better your defense is, the more expensive it becomes to get whatever little teeny tiny ounce of upgrade that you can get. Like the difference between, a 100 divine build and a 125 divine build that's the same archetype, in terms of the actual stats on their items, is relatively few. Right? The bulk of the build is already put together. The damage sources are put together. The layers of defenses are already there. Your stat attributes are already there. Your skill gems are already built in. The difference between a 100 divine build versus a 125 build is not that much. And maybe even the difference between a 100 divine build and a 300 divine build in terms of what's on it is not that much. But if you start spending your currency on the stuff that's the not that much part of it, you're sinking currency into really small gains. Really small gains. And that can stink, Build is super cheap. You just need a replica Alberon's Warpath, and you can play this build with 1 divine. Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes you'll notice it in the POBs. Sometimes people are trying to do a good job of warning players or letting players know, like, hey, I've got multiple trees set up and multiple gear paths set up. That's fine, but if in your title you're displaying, like, hey, this is the amount of top-end build damage that you can get, and then you, like, go, if like, I don't even, here, let's do this one. Let's do this one. All right, here's, no, I'm not even going to do somebody else's because I don't want anybody to say, oh, well, did you hear Iron ragging on so-and-so? I don't even want that. I don't want any kind of accusations of that. Okay, so we'll look at my own tree on my Righteous Fire guy. If I say, guys, I can guarantee you, like, here's the title of the video. Hello and what is up, YouTube? Like, today I'm taking down something. Using my 5,344 DPS, I can guarantee you this, and it's going to be awesome. Isn't this just such a sick build? Okay, but then, like, you look at the passive tree, and you're like, this is the passive tree that you got, right? But then you go in there, and it's like, yeah, you can't make the switch over onto this passive tree until you really reach, like, level 98 or something. And then you look, and you're like, hey, there's no leveling trees here. And so then people will come to Good Guy Gaming, they'll come to other people's streams, they'll search the forums, they'll look on Google, and they'll go, hey, how do I level this build? And sometimes a player in the video will go, well, just level the build however you like to level that particular character. It's like, okay, but newer players aren't in the mindset where they can go, hey, how do I level this character? Maybe they've never played a character like that before. Maybe this is their first experience with this archetype or with this character class. Anyway, so that is a very long-winded way of griping and saying there's a lot of things that we can do as a community to help encourage players in their experience of Path of Exile to grow in their appreciation and understanding of a build and what makes it tick, and how to reach the levels that they want to reach based off of whatever their goals are. If the goal of the build is to reach 4 billion Uber Elder DPS, that's great. There's ways to do that. There's ways to say to somebody, here's where you start. And there's a fine balance between holding somebody's hand and treating them like they're a child and being too condescending versus saying, this is how we're going to go about this. This is how you're going to level through the axe. And now I will use somebody's build guide as an example because this is a wonderful example that we used today in our video. So if you look at Super Secret Tech's EA Champion Guide, take a look. These are his notes. If you click on the notes section, look at this. Color-coded, very important. Note, Diadem Dawn. Boom, note. You want no flat damage. Boom, note. The way you actually do damage to mobs is by stacking fuses. Boom, note. Pierce will prevent your damage from your fusing stacking. Boom, before you get in power, you can use elemental damage with attacks. Right? There's all these explanations in here. Then you come down here and you're like, hey, what about FAQs, right? Like people who are asking all the same questions. Boom, right here. Like, it's all right here. Boom, how do you craft your endgame weapon? Boom, right here. Right? All this stuff is right here. By the way, he's got a fantastic forum guide that you can go and look at as well, where he even recommends how to level the build as well. So that's genuinely trying to help players. Like, you've never played this before. You're going to have questions. Let me try and help you with this. I'm not asking people to quit their jobs and become, full-time content creators for grinding gear games. Nope. Okay. So Soul Link is officially an active gem for purposes in Ruthless. I'm not asking that. I'm just saying there's ways to bring people along and bring people up to speed and presenting your build. There's ways to doing that that are more helpful to the community, and there's ways to doing that that are less helpful. When I was looking for Toxic Rain builds, literally all but one build guide were tricking POB by calculating the damage as if literally all pods were hitting the boss literally 5 to 10 times the actual damage. Yes, and that's one of the reasons why today, in today's video, I wanted to make sure that there was a long discussion, a long part of the discussion to say, here's what I'm doing with the calculations, here's how we're calculating DPS. I'm pretty sure it's Ziz who said, I'm pretty sure it was Ziz who says in his EA Juggernaut build, like, it's either in Ziz's EA Juggernaut build or in his Champion build, which we didn't use as a comparison. We used Super Secret Text. But I'm fairly certain that it's Ziz who says, like, 6 fuses, anywhere between 6 to 20 fuses is what you're going to have reliably up against different bosses. Okay, so that's really helpful knowledge to know for a new player. Like, a new player coming in, they're going to be like, man, I feel like my damage feels really bad. I'm never getting, like, max fuses. I'm never getting those big explosions that I'm seeing a streamer get. It's like, well, there's a reason for that. All right, so my resistances are going to need to be fixed now that we took down Kitava. By the way, guys, we took down Kitava. Well, Act 5 Kitava, so that's kind of nice. We're halfway there. Whoa, whoa. I kind of want to push somebody else to kill Kitava now. Do I want to push the Ranger? The Ranger will probably die. The Ranger is a lot less tanky than this character. And this character, I made a mistake under one of his slams. I did not have my Granite Flask up. And he did hit me, and he about half health me. At what, 35% is what I'm at right now? So I was probably at like low 40s or high 30s for that encounter. It's kind of spooky. Hey, I thought I just ID'd that. I didn't click on it. There we go. Pack of magic monsters, increase quantity. Alright, there's my decoy totem up. Watch the explosions. The explosions are physical. One monster remains. Okay, so we gotta go kill Abraham. The rise of Abraham. Do Granite Flask. Down he goes. Alright, so this character is on to the second half. Alright, so we got the Witch up to the second half. We got the Champion to the second half. We've got the Juggernaut to the second half. Alright, so we got to get the Scion, the Shadow, and the Ranger to the second half. This was before they reworked Toxic Rain? Okay, that makes sense. Conditional damage that isn't always up shouldn't be counted in the end damage, in my opinion. I agree with you, Patrick. I agree with you. I need to find the clip where somebody said he talked about his League starter character dilemma, in that by day 3 that character is kitted out and upgraded to heck and thus no longer a starter. That's a great point. You said you're quoting MBX Extreme on that. That's a great point. Like, here's the thing. Somebody who's going to play this game, whether they're casual or whether they're a professional streamer and this is their, this is the way that they're providing for themselves and their family. Regardless, if you play on an opening League weekend, like from League launch, and you sleep for a few hours here or there, right? You get your normal sleep schedule and you stay healthy. But you play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Your character as a League starter Monday is going to look vastly different than somebody who goes, all right, League launch, awesome. I'm going to play for 2 hours on Friday. I'm going to play for 2 hours on Saturday and maybe an hour on Sunday. Like 5 hours into the League over 3 days is way different than 30 plus hours into the League, right? And so it's different. It really is different. It's one of the reasons why when I make recommendations for build guide starters in general, I try and make them for like the most bare bones, least amount of uniques, cheapest and most reliable ways you can level and get to maps and progress through your atlas. Like I try to, when I make recommendations for League starters, that's what I try and go with. It's one of the factors that goes into making a choice that I'll recommend something. Has anyone recommended Hex Blast for build guides comparisons? I don't know, Dragosi. I don't think so. I don't think anybody's mentioned it. Okay, I feel like I want to play my Cyclone guy. What's he low on? He is low on lightning resistance. But I think he's got some good rings. Yeah, he's actually got some decent rings. Oh, that's a really good roll on that amulet. Do I have? I have none. I was going to say I could try and augment that. This is a good roll for lightning. The chess piece has nothing on it. Okay. So, do I have a chess piece that's got something? It's got some level of resistances on it. It's a lot less armor. It's 300 less armor, but it is lightning resist. So I'm gonna take that. Ancestral Protector. I'm not overcap on fire, and I'm not wild about that. That is something to be aware of. Yeah, that is a little bit nerve-wracking. It's also nerve-wracking about my helmet. I need to come over and get. Maybe I should just get Iron Reflexes now. What's my evasion? 487. Huh. I love that I've got all these axe nodes and that I've got this awesome sword that I'm using. Oh boy. Okay, let's go see if we just rip a character. Let's go see. We gotta access the Karuai Fortress, right? Yeah. All right, let's go to the coast. How can you recognize whether or not a build is worth continuing to scale up? Oh, that's a good question, Scott. So for me personally, I think if I'm still having fun with it. But to, I think it was James's point earlier about eventually like your character at level, you know, whatever, line 94 through 98, I think is what James said. For him, at a certain point, like, how to put it? At a certain point, you just stop having fun. Not everybody is that way, but at a certain point, you may actually find out, like, okay, I'm just no longer enjoying this build anymore. Genuinely not enjoying playing the game anymore. Whoa, hey, what if I died here? I would genuinely not enjoy that. I'm using, whoa, a lot of life gain on hit here. And I am still taking a lot of damage here. This is with a lot of life gain on hit. That's kind of spooky. Okay, that must have been extra chaos damage. That's why. Negative 30 chaos. That's pretty spooky. But I would say that's for me and that's personal. Just if I'm not having fun with a build, then I'm gonna stop investing in it. Like when a build starts to no longer be fun for me, I'm done with it. Like I'll stop investing with it. I'll use it to farm other currency and then to go build another build. Or I'll strip that build entirely. When I'm genuinely done playing that build, and I'm like, okay, this is it, I'm done. Whoa, hey. Speaking of being done. Oh, boy. 100% these are chaos damage, guys. Yeah, extra chaos damage. Oh, guys, get chaos resistance. What did this character have on him? He had nothing. He had nothing. This guy had crap on him. This was our Cyclone character, right? Oh, man. You level up 4 characters at once? No. So, Jack, this is what we're doing. So, my league goal is to level up 1 character from each base class all the way to Katava Act 10 in Ruthless. So, I want to get 7 characters and level them up. Whew. No, there goes some good supports. No, there were no good supports on this build. Remember, guys, we need to remember, okay? Guys, remember, when a character dies, everything that was on it was bad. When the character is still alive, it's good. But look at this. This character only had 1,600 life. See, this guy was bad. He had 1,600 life. He's got less life than my minion summoner. What was his armor at? His armor was actually much higher. It was the chaos damage. This chaos pack is what killed him. That's what it was. I swear I just equipped my Adziri's Promise for chaos res. There you go. You've got the good strategy there, Jack. Oh, that's funny. That doesn't even feel bad, you know? As weird as that sounds, the duelist dying doesn't even feel bad. Doesn't even feel bad. That's actually... This character's gone. No longer have to build this character. We were laughing because we had like rage gained over here, and oh, this character was so bad. Oh, he was so janky. I need to level something else up with the champion. Maybe I'll go explosive arrow, guys. Oh man. Okay, so let's update the death counter. Dave called it. Oops, up goes the death counter. All right, let's update it. Whew. All right, death counter 5. Oh man, there we go. There's a rip. That's what you get for not going CI. Just as we were talking about today. Oh man. CI. When was the last time CI was good? All right, so let's look. He's in Void League now, right? I can't look at him. Let's look at him in POB. He's still over in Path of Building, right? He had awful stuff. Okay, let's go back here. Let's import, start. What was his name? Doing damage, wasn't he? Wasn't he doing damage, Draconis? Yeah, keep doing damage, Draconis. Okay, let's look at him. Okay, he only could take 1,000 damage from Chaos. Because he had negative Chaos resistance, right? So even though he had 1,600 life. Yeah. Also, his life gain on hit. I was gaining 100 life regen. And then life leech and on hit, 301. Wow. Okay, so I wasn't hitting fast enough. Claws. Claws were the things that were carrying me on that one. Where's the config? We had just done Act 5. There we go. So we were at the minus 30. So a 1,300 chaos hit was what we were able to take. So we were not able to out-regen that. Okay, so look at the skills on this. Cyclone, so we lost life gain on hit. Chance to bleed, that one was good. Close combat, that one was okay. Chance to bleed was probably the best one. Just because look at that. It's got pretty strong fizz, flat fizz. Life gain on hit was decent as well. We lost Double Strike, Poacher's Mark, Ancestral Protector, Blood Rage, and Corrupting Fever. Nothing else. So that doesn't feel too bad. His items, here was his sword. Remember on the passive tree, we were spec'd into axes. We had spec'd over here into axes, and he was using a sword, because up until that point in time, we were only finding good axes. We lost Heat Shiver. Now that one actually was good, because that gave good resistances through the first half of the game. But that's all I was using it for, was resistances. You haven't had to update the death counter in what, 2 weeks? Yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe it's a blessing that character was pretty bad. That character was awful. This is how we cope with character deaths around here. He was awful. Every single piece of gear was awful. Look at his plate. Oh, I just switched his chest piece too, so that means I still have the 700 armor chest piece. But look at that. 21 life, 400 armor, bad. Look at the gloves. No life. A little bit of cold damage to attacks. Actually, that cold damage to attacks is as much as the flat damage to attacks off of Chance to Bleed. 12 to 18. Yeah, 12 to 23. So those gloves were basically a support gem. Oh, man. Oh, no, those boots have got increased rarity, good armor, and then 2 resistances. Those I'll miss. That's decent. That's a decent roll on the Lapis Amulet. 13% to all elemental resistances. Ring number 1. Oh, this was a good ring. Oh, this ring was good. 40 to life. 34 to int, which is needed for a lot of characters. 13 cold and lightning as the implicit. 13% to increase rarity of items found. 10% to all elemental resistances, and 18 to fire. That actually hurts. That ring actually hurts. This ring was also basically worth another support gem with the physical damage to attacks. Belt was garbage. And then all the flasks were garbage. Okay. This character was so bad. Look at his average, his total damage. His combined total DPS was 1,500. That's what one of my SRS does. It's so bad. It's so bad. Like one SRS does this amount. It's so bad. Okay. All right, get out of here. Keep doing damage. It's so bad. All right, delete. Keep doing damage, Draconis. He's gone. Rest in peace. And by in peace, I mean be dead. Be gone. All right, so eventually I'm going to need to create a duelist. Dakota says, hey man, you helped me with my Aura Stacker build a few days ago, and I just wanted to give an update. I made the suggested changes, and now my build feels amazing. Thanks so much for your help. Just subscribed on Patreon. Thanks again. Hey, that's great, Dakota. First off, thank you so much for your subscription over on Patreon. It's very kind of you to support the channel that way. And I'm very pleased to hear that your build feels great. Right? I love helping people out. So shout out to everybody in chat. If you ever need help with a build, or you'd like some suggestions or some tips, if you're dying too often, or if you're not killing stuff fast enough, you can always jump over onto our Discord. There's a join link down below in the video description. You can jump onto the Discord. We've got a complete channel that's dedicated just for build help and advice. You can always drop your POB over there, ask a general question. If I see it, and then I'm going to be streaming, I'll go, hey, let's take a look at that. If I don't see it, chances are somebody else in the community that's also a wonderful veteran player of Path of Exile will see it and be able to give you some feedback if I'm not around. So that's awesome. Okay, so who do we want to work on next? Do we want to start a duelist? I don't want to start a duelist. Do I want to risk ripping another character? Ooh, this character we know, I need to switch his ring out, right? This one's missing a really good ring. Oh, and his chaos resistance as well. Now I'm going to be paranoid about chaos damage. Okay, where's chaos resistance? Isn't there a 7% to like chaos resistance on the tree? Oh, we're going to come up and grab Purity of Flesh though. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so that's 8% chaos resistance. Is this is more chaos resistance over here. And curse reduction effect? That could be good. Yeah, resistance and ailment protection. Could we get that? This is the armor mastery, life mastery, life mastery. This is armor. It's ailment and resistance is what we're looking for. I think there's another one up here, right? Yeah, resistance and ailment. Oh, we could get another +1 to maximum all resistance. We could come over here and do that. Just do super defensive shenanigans. So if we do this, this is 12% chaos resist. This is 30% chaos resist wheel. So this would put us up to 8% positive. +7 is what? 15% positive. That would be quite a feat. That's without gear. That would be quite a feat to get some chaos resistance. Yeah, there's Unrelenting. I don't think I'm going to get Unrelenting, though. I think I'm going to come in here and get Unbreakable. And then Unstoppable. Trying to think what else. Okay, so this character needs to be using another ring. So I need to swap the ring off. Oh, that belt. It's rare, but it's so bad. It does give fire resistance. Which right now I'm actually kind of low on all of that stuff. The gloves are the 4-link that we needed. Okay, let's come out to the witch. Right, because I think it's this ring, right? Or is it this ring? It's the cold and lightning ring. Okay, so I think it's this one. I think this is the ring that I'm using over here on this Juggernaut. This is, by the way, one of the biggest tips that we've discovered playing Ruthless is use your alchemy orbs on jewelry. It's so worth it. Okay, so this is 7467. So that ring must not be it. Man, that's a good chess piece. Did I have another belt that's got cold? Yeah, 9 cold resistance. I think it's the other one then. Oh, my shield is also not giving me any resistances. Okay. That's 9 to everything and 32 life. Man, the armor is really pathetic on that. Oh, it's got 20 to chaos. Ooh. Oh, man. 14 to all and 30 to lightning. I don't have the int to use it, though. +3 to all, +6 to chaos. 6 to fire, 23 to lightning. I think this one's better. This is 9 to all and still gives me 32 life. Alright, there's flammability. Here's Infernal Cry. My armor's still at 68%. We're now at 112, 83, 76. So I could switch out the belt. I don't need the belt. So what about lightning? Do I have a lightning resistance belt? I do. What does that do for me? Okay, 104, 83, 83. All right, I like it. I like it. Let's see what this feels like out here in Act 6. I too made some changes to my SRS and things feel nice. The changes you suggested. Hey, nice, Dragosi. I believe it or not, I am always very, very pleased when I hear from players. Like when I hear back from players a day or two after or whatever, whenever it is on their timeline to be like, hey, I made those changes that you suggested and it actually worked. That's always encouraging. Because sometimes you don't hear back from players. Or sometimes some of you, I'm looking at you in chat, by the way. Some of you in chat have gone away for a time and then come back and been like, oh yeah, by the way, I did those changes, you know, that you asked last league, and that was my last character for the league, but the character felt a lot better. And it's like, oh cool, I have no recollection of what that character was, but thanks for letting me know, like a league later. That's cool. Alright, so this feels pretty good. But of course, that's because everything is dying before it can even hit me. But a lot of these hits are going to be physical as well. I think it was just that we bumped into that Chaos Pack. I think that really terrible character would have survived at least a little bit longer. Had I not just chilled. Oh, that's chaos damage. Okay, see, now I'm gonna be a little bit more aware. Purple floaty balls can mean we die. So I'm gonna be a little bit more aware of purple floaty balls. You know, gotta be aware of the purple floaty balls. You are covered in ash, sir. Talk to Lily for your reward. Alright, so watch out for chaos damage. This character also has 600 or so more life than the last character. So that matters. What else? Can I refund any of these? Nope. Can't refund this. I think I check this every level. Nope, can't refund the int. Okay. Next level, we're going to go to Spiritual Aid. So that's what we're trying to hit. What stat do trap characters focus on? A couple. Right? So, where's my trapper? So, like, trap and mind damage. Where is it? The trap and mind damage wheel. Trap and mind damage. Defensive layers. Suppression is really good. Suppression. And then, of course, your basic resistances. Right? Next league, all attacks should be purple to scare Iron all the time. It'll just take me back to Breach League. Right? It'll take me back to the Breach days. I posted my POB in the Discord chat with the new changes if you want to take a look. Nice. Let's go take a look. Alright, let's pull this up. Let's do this. Okay, here's your Ascendant. Your Ascendant stacker. Alright. Ooh, nice. We've got Militant Faith there in the middle. Very nice. It's always fun. We've got Unnatural Instinct. Ooh, that's also fun. Oh, nice. And you come down over here. Alright, so what did you fill out here? Forbidden Flame. Nice. So that way then, what do you get? Do you get the Pathfinder? Yep. Secrets of Suffering. Ooh. Critical strikes inflict scorch, brittle, and sapped. Nice. That's exciting. There's Forbidden Flesh. Sovereignty over here. Arcane Potency, so that way you've got more crit rate. Look at your Spark. Your hit DPS is almost 3 mil. That's nuts. Man, and how many projectiles are you firing out? Where's your calcs on Spark? 5 inspiration charges. Wow. 7.63. Increase cast speed 222%. That's awesome. That's awesome. 7.5 casts per second. It's so fast. I love watching Spark characters when they're at their top and just like whoop, 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 whoop. It looks like a baker is just, somebody needs to make a GIF of a baker throwing pizzas into an oven. There needs to be a pizza Spark build. Just throwing pizzas into the oven. Yikes. Yeah, look at your hit pool now, by the way. Your effective hit pool is 112 with a Chaos Max hit of 46,000. That's huge. That's a lot bigger than what it was last time. Where was it from the other day? Hang on a second. I'm going to pull up a comparison here. I'm pulling up your old POB that you sent the other day. Okay, your old POB. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Ladies and gentlemen. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. Okay. So the one on the right-hand side of your screen or towards the middle of your screen, this is Dakota's old survivability. Effective hit pool of 51,000. He could take a physical hit of 8,000, just under 9,000. 8,900 and a chaos hit of 6,200. Now look at it. Chaos Max hit of 46,000. And why is that? Because he got his chaos resistance up from 31% to 69%. Boom. You all just saw what can happen to a character in hardcore if you don't pay attention to your to your chaos resistance. Oh, that's great. That's really great. Yep. Okay, and then your life over here. All right. Looking good. Looking good. Look at your energy shield. Looking good. Oh, your ES shield regen is also up by 400 as well. That's good. Depends on the trap build. I'm using Seismic Trap Poison, so trap throwing speed, fizz, and chaos damage, dot multi. Chaos dot multi, poison damage, and dot multi. There you go. But a lot of that stuff is specifically for poison seismic. Yeah, to your point, Clay. That's well said. Movement speed modifier, 134. Yeah, this looks good. Why is your evasion rating so different? Did you have to take out Grace? Did you have Grace last time? Is that, I would assume that's what was giving you so much. Yeah, Vol Grace. Yeah. Now I just have to cap the crit chance. Oh man, 73%. It's nuts. With a 352 crit multiplier. That's ridiculous. Oh man, it's fun. These builds are great. I love these builds. Aura Stacker builds. So expensive. Such a headache. Such a headache to be like, okay, which jewel do I get next? And which component do I get? Like, I remember Delirium. When it was like, all right, you want your character to be at like level 95 before you swap over. Because if you swap over before you're level 95, you don't have enough. Like, level 94 is not enough passive points to do this. And it was just like, oh my gosh, this is a headache. But then once you got there, it was like, oh, this is unkillable and really fun. So that's pretty cool, Dakota. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing the update. That's really cool. That's always exciting. Okay. Meanwhile, speaking of things that are always exciting, let's not die with this character. Right? That's our goal. Now this character actually has good stuff on him. This character made it all the way to Brine King. He's got 83% cold resistance. Let's go see if he can farm a little bit out here. Can he ding another level? Can he ding level 57 in a level 50 zone? Find out next time. Oh, that's chaos. Chaos and weather resistant. Okay. So that's not extra chaos damage. We're okay with that. We're okay with that. I also have decent regen still. I think my net regen is still pretty good. I love being able to just tank stuff. That feels good, man. It feels good. Obviously, Brine King might be a different story. Brine King might take us 5 minutes to kill just because of damage, but we're on a 4-link. Whoop, what's he got? He's got Trail of Cold and extra physical damage. Okay. So you can follow me around, buddy. Come follow me around. Come on. Whoa, hey, what was that? What is that? Is that just everything hitting me all at once? I think that's what that was. It's got to be what that was, right? Oh no, yeah, it's him plus all of the cold balls hitting me at once. Man, I cannot get my second ascendancy fast enough. That will make a big difference. Because I think I'll probably go splitting physical damage into elemental damage. And that should help by quite a bit. And then also double armor from my body armor, which is also quite good. That'll give me a lot of flat. A lot of flat armor. He inflicts grasping vines. Oh, how obnoxious. Here, take some traps. Ooh. Oh, I'm taking chaos damage, that's why. Because grasping vines also does chaos damage. How silly of me. Just keep running. There we go. See, this is why I like playing hardcore. Because, you know, a character can die. Your choices do matter. And you want to be careful. You want to make good decisions. If you don't make good decisions, there's consequences to it. Oh boy. Oh boy. Like tanking a whole bunch of those cold balls. There could be consequences to it. And so part of the challenge is, okay, can you build a character to the point where you could tank these things and it doesn't matter? Can you do it? Can you make that happen? Is it possible? It's also fun to just stand here and let Regal Clack the Dauntless wail on me, knowing that I'll be okay. It's also kind of fun. What's up, dude? Welcome, welcome. Good to see you today. I love your vids lately. Very clean and professional. Oh, that's very kind of you to say. Thank you, thank you. Hopefully that's... we're always striving to be informative and helpful. So... I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. They do take quite a bit. Oh, is that chaos? Nope, it's chaos and wither resistant. Okay. They do take quite a bit to produce. So there's a lot of time that goes in, a lot of effort that goes into doing the research. And then once we've got all the research done, then there's a lot of time and effort that goes into actually recording the videos. So hopefully, ultimately, it's paying off with more players learning about Path of Exile and being able to enjoy the game that they love so much. Because that's the goal. At least that's my goal when we're making content. Being helpful, being informative, and helping you have a good time. OG Delirium build that I've amended every new league. Oh, nice. So every league you play the same build? Do you find that it gets stronger over time? Or has there not been much change to it?
You're a gift, don't you see? A sumptuous feast for His Majesty on his wedding day.
Oh, hardcore ruthless? Yeah. I mean, if we make this kind of thing, but in a private league with 20 peoples and help each other, that's fun. Yes, so that has actually been a suggestion, by the way. I think I think we will probably do that for the next league. I think we'll probably host a private league. Maybe we'll turn up some of the difficulties as well, because you can turn up some difficulty settings in a private league that you can't do. There's additional difficulty like monster resistances and monster health and those sorts of things. We might do that. I don't know if I'm going to do it as Patreon supporters only. I don't know how big it could get, and so I don't want it to be too large. But it's been something that a couple of our Patreon supporters have suggested to do. So I think we will do it for next league. The question obviously is, do it on League Start or not. I generally only play one version of a league every league. I generally don't swap. To me, that feels bad. To like have a stash tab filled with, you know, one thing and characters built on one thing and then restarting. I don't like that. I like starting new characters, but I don't like starting fresh stash tabs, if that makes sense. Ooh, that's some damage. That is some damage. I think that's mostly cold damage that's coming in like that. Alright, final phase. Brine King. Whoop. Whoop. We're going to turn off Righteous Fire for a second. Look at me, I'm a trapper. I'm a Marauder trapper. We're just cosplaying as a trapper right now. Ooh. There we go. We're burning a little bit. Big slam. Alright, down he goes. That is a 5-socket. It's a bow. Not a 5-link, but a 5-socket. 20% move speed. Alright. So now we go on to the act where... I'm trying to remember. Chaos resistance matters. No, chaos resistance matters more for Dodre. We do need some chaos resistance for when we go up to the pyramid. Oh, hello there, Tulk Trips. He's level 60. I'm only level 56, man. Sheesh. Quit showing off there. Alright, let's sell some of this junk. Let's ID. I think we're going to keep that just because it's 5 sockets. Why not keep the 5-socket? Whoa! 650 armor. 17 to life. 31 to fire. 14 to chaos. It's less armor, but it's got some chaos res on it. We're using it. We are using that bad boy. Alright, now we're only negative 16, and it actually replaced the fire. The fire resistance actually went up from that, so that's good. Alright, so let's put this in other leveling junk. Let's keep the bow as... We're going to make this a 5-socket. 5 sockets. And then let's sell the rest of it. Maybe put the boots in the maybe crafting section. Maybe craft. I've got plenty of astro plates here. Or full plates, sorry, not astro plates. I've got plenty of those. So, turn that into a scroll fragment. Pay for your place is the best option. Yeah. I mean, I agree with you probably. I like to do things for free and then try and do extra things to say thank you. So maybe it would be a way that I would say thank you to my Patreon supporters, you know. Maybe. Weird question. Do traps have accuracy? I think if you're using attack-based traps. Oh, maybe not, though. Patrick says maybe not. Poisonous Concoction has the attack tag, but you don't need it there. That's a good point. Dakota says it was a huge dip from the original Herald Stacker ever since they nerfed Purposeful Harbinger. But with the new changes, you and your community suggested it feels quite similar. I probably sunk 1 mirror of legacy items in this character over the years. My melding of flesh and the medium cluster jewels are insane. Yeah. Yeah, looking at your stuff, and I think we said this the other day on stream. It was like, dude, your stuff is sick. What do you need help with? You shouldn't be dying to anything. And then as we pulled it apart, we are like, oh, okay, there's a couple of things that you can improve on. But for the most part, you're doing just fine. I wonder if I should use Blasphemy Aura on this guy too. If I use Blasphemy Aura for flammability, it might not be such a bad idea. Because what am I reserving right now? I'm doing Clarity and Vitality, right? Yeah, Clarity and Vitality. Blasphemy Aura is probably too much to reserve. Maybe. But it essentially would mean that my AoE as I'm walking through stuff would do more damage. Because it would mean everything that's in proximity to me is just receiving that curse penalty. Not just the bosses or the rares that I want to throw the curse on manually. Temporarily revives. Yikes. Oh, there's magic pack. Lightning and shock resistant. Okay. They went down pretty easy. That's nice. This is good news. See, it's just so smooth. It's so smooth. When you're tanky, obviously on Righteous Fire, it feels so smooth. When you're not tanky, it's a little nerve-wracking. Ah, there goes my health. Ah. Trapper Mints. Oh, and a portal scroll. What is this? Oh, Swift Affliction. That's right. Dude, we have found so many good support gems for this build. Okay, let's go grab Spiritual Command, and that's going to help a lot. Or Spiritual Aid. Sorry, not Spiritual Command. Where's Spiritual Command? Is that over here? Yeah, Spiritual Aid. You do need accuracy for Peaconk. Don't you need it for the hit damage? You need it for the hit damage. I don't think you need it for the... Do you need it for the poison effect? I don't remember. I'm just playing a Poisonous Concoction character. Don't pay attention to me. I'm just leveling one up. Lol. They nerfed the Aura Stacker builds pretty much every league, and it's always a fun time resurrecting the build despite GGG's attempt to kill it. Ah, so you're the man. You're the reason, Dakota. Somebody at Grinding Gear Games right now is only employed because their job is to nerf that build every single league. And so without you, they would have no job. So, you know, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to be the reason for why somebody's got a job at GGG. I kid. Oh, man, that's fun. Uh-oh. Whoa, hey, what is this? What is this? What is that? What is that? Prevents recovery above 50%? What is that? No, boom. You guys should all die, okay? You got, what? Extra chaos damage? Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Okay, good. Like, what was that? What are these new mods? Like, you have to read the yellow mobs before you engage with them in hardcore. Because you might just walk up to them and they might just be like, well, all right, you have no flasks. I leached all your flasks. Apparently you can't recover past 50% and now you're dead. What? Let me just cut your health pool in half. Cut your recovery mechanisms by more than half. And you're dead. Oh. Okay. I mean, I guess that works. Extra chaos damage. Yikes. Increased area of effect! Ah! Guys, we just got increased area of effect. Yes, of course it works on Righteous Fire. Oh, it's so good. It's so pretty. We actually have 5 links that we could be working with right now. We have 4 support gems we could use. I'm dropping this off in the stash. I'm not losing this. This is great. Look at this. Oh, that feels so good. Okay, so now I'm actually at a spot where I need a 5 socket. I need a 5 link. I'm actually at a spot where I could use a 5 link. That's pretty good. Oh, 59 life. Putting that in the other leveling junk section. That's pretty good. Just wait until you find an Innocence touch mod. Is it like being a Cirrus touch mod? Wait, Iron, you missed all of the Arch Nemesis nonsense? Yes. I missed the whole thing. So the last character that I leveled before I took my break was a Poisonous Concoction Pathfinder. It was very fun. It was very good. Very strong. I believe it was Ritual or Ultimatum, but I leveled it to like level 92. Maybe? Was it 92? It was maybe not that high. Maybe I'm thinking of a different character. But I leveled it. I was like, okay, this character's great. I'm not really thrilled with the game where it's at right now. And I got too much other stuff going on in life. I'm going to take a break. And so I did. And so I missed apparently the most dramatic year in Path of Exile history. And I'm just now coming back. And it's kind of funny, actually. There's a lot of people who are subscribed on YouTube who are dropping comments on videos like, "Oh, you're back. It's nice to see you back. Oh, you're back. I didn't hear you're back." It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. It's like, yep, the bald man lives. Bald man is back. But no, I missed apparently a lot of drama about GGG communication and a lot of drama about Arch Nemesis, obviously, as a game design decision. I guess you can technically say I missed it, but based off of what everybody's telling me, I didn't miss it, if that makes sense. Somebody said to me the other day that I picked like the best year I possibly could have picked to skip, which I didn't know that obviously going into it, but the monster does Innocence's attacks, including laser beam. Oh man. That was the game's repayment for the earlier death. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. I'll take it. Wait, which character died? Oh, guys, do you guys want to tell them? Oh, how long ago was it? It was probably like an hour or so ago. Maybe not quite an hour ago. We lost the champion. Yeah, we were messing around on the champion. We were like, well, this character's okay. Sort of. And so I went out on my way to Tukahama and ran into a magic pack that did extra chaos damage, and we had negative 30% chaos resistance. I had just like double checked his Ellie res, and he was semi tanky in terms of, you know, his hit rate and stuff, but he didn't have a high enough life pool. He only had 1600 as life pool. That's not high enough. Those were the purple crystals, which can murder me. Gotta have a higher life pool for the second half of the game. You want to have like 2,000 when you go into Kitava. That's my goal, usually, in hardcore. Go in with 2,000 life to Kitava. It's not just about the Kitava fight at that point. It's about what is beyond Kitava. Like, I guess I could say you want to have 2,000 life by the time you fight Tukahama, but generally Kitava's a bigger benchmark, right? I love using Infernal Cry. That is a pretty cool little trick. Why am I dying here? Oh, it's because somebody had like poisons or whatever. One of those guys did chaos. All right, we are level 57 in a 51 zone, which is why it's kind of scary that we still take damage. Does that not scare anybody else? It kind of scares me that I still take damage. That I'm a character that's built entirely around being tanky. And yet, I still take damage. No, I'm not. I guess I'm not entirely around being tanky. I haven't come up here and grabbed like the Sound Life Wheel or something. That was my champion. Which again reiterates the first rule. The first rule about talking about old characters in PoE that have ripped in hardcore. When the character is alive, the character is the luckiest character of all time. And it's got fantastic gear and fantastic abilities. When the character dies, remember to mentally disassociate yourself with any kind of emotional ties to the character. That character was garbage. There was nothing on him worth having. And it's actually better off for you and your enjoyment of the game that the character is now dead. That's, Hello and welcome to Psychology and the psychology of dealing with with dead characters in POE. Oh man. Come in and have a seat on the couch. Well, bald man, you didn't miss joy, that's for sure. There you go. There you go. No, we didn't according to you all, we didn't miss much. Earlier I died 5 times to it in Silo. Ooh, yuck. That's spooky. Solaris touched is the most annoying. Path of Math ban? Oh. He was a big economy guy. He was a big eco guy. Is he still banned? Hopefully not. Hopefully everything worked out. Hopefully it was just a temporary thing. He made a lot of economy and crafting videos, from what I remember. Do you like roguelites? I do. I do. I was telling... Who was I telling the other day? I was telling one of my buddies, Path of Exile actually already has a fantastic roguelite, regardless of how Sanctum is received by the community. It's called Path of Exile. I know it's not the same. It probably doesn't fit the definition in all the right ways, but it's nonetheless a great experience. At least the way how I play it for right now, playing solo self-found Ruthless, to go, hey, I'm not sure, you know, what's going to happen with this character and what's going to drop and what sort of buffs do I have. And I feel like Ruthless is kind of that experience, you know? Like the same feeling that you get when you're playing Hades, or the same feeling that you're going to get when you're playing, you know, some other run-based game. It's obviously not the same feel in terms of gameplay mechanics and strategy and all that, and responsiveness of controls and characters and all that. That part's different. Oh, that's our first Regal Orb. Upgrades a magic item to a rare item. Oh boy. Okay, what do I use that on? I've got a lot of... Oh man, I've got a lot of magic items. I use it on the amulet, right? We should use it on a piece of jewelry. Probably, right? What build has worked best for you in Ruthless? I've been watching your videos, but it slips my mind. James, I feel like I need to create like a little text response to that, just so that way we have that. The answer is Cold Dot Hierophant. I played Hierophant as a Cold Dot. I went with charges as the Hierophant Ascendancy nodes is what we played with. And that worked out really well. Having charges as a defensive layer, really, really strong. So I think that's been the smoothest. It's been the most defensive and offensive capable build. Next up after that, I think the Trapper, because you can get frenzy charges on the tree and you can have chance to gain frenzy charges when monsters proc your traps, that's pretty big as well. So the damage on the Trapper has been really good. I got really lucky with Poisonous Concoction. The damage on Poisonous Concoction Plaguebearer feels pretty good, but it's not nearly as tanky. So I would mark that one down. So I would say first is Cold Dot Hierophant. Obviously, if you want to scale it better, you go Cold Dot to Cultist, but I just wanted to kill Act 10 Kitava, right? So Cold Dot. Summoners, I think, are good. It is still a slower gameplay style, right? No matter what, because you're standing there and you're casting continually. So if you don't like playing a summoner in regular PoE because it's too slow for you, you're not going to like it in Ruthless. But if you do enjoy playing a summoner in regular PoE, you might enjoy playing it in Ruthless, because having multiple sources of damage and layers of defenses and having an army there to help you can feel nice. So I would say, let me look at those characters real quick. I would say this is the top character, Cold Dot Hierophant. Second is probably a tie between the Saboteur, Trapper, and Necros. Third, I would say it doesn't do as much damage, but in terms of tankiness and survivability, this is way better than the Sabo or the Necro for going Righteous Fire. It's a pain in the butt to get to the spot to where you can use Righteous Fire, though. And it's not a real accurate experience, because I've now found like all of the top tier support gems. I've got Elemental Focus, I've got Swift Affliction, I've got Fire Pen. I don't have Burning, but I've also got increased AoE. So, yeah. I've also got this awesome scepter. Look at this, +1 to level of all fire. And then increased fire damage, increased elemental damage. That's good. So, I think that's my breakdown of the builds. What I will do, just so that way you guys know, is I will give each of the builds like their own little spotlight in a video when all my builds are done. I'll release those. I've been debating when I'm going to release those, whether or not I should make those videos and then release them like as I take down Act 10 Kitava, or if I should release them at the end of the league, as we're talking about Ruthless, and I obviously haven't done it yet, so that's been where I'm at. Hopefully that's an answer for you, for James. I was dying every red map, and now I can AFK simulacrums. Oh, wow. You are now an accomplice for why the Aura Stacker exists. You now indirectly employ that person at GGG designated to nerfing my build. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that we're both stimulating the economy of New Zealand. That's good. Okay, there's going to be chaos damage and physical damage and bleeds here, but we should have no corrupted blood on us, so that's good. And then what else? What else can kill us in here? Just chaos damage in general can kill us in here. We can bleed, but I think I've got bleed immunity on something, don't I? No, I've just got burning immunity. Okay. So that's good to know. By the way, if you're wondering why I click on all the trunks and stuff, it's because we found so many support gems by just clicking on stuff. So that's why. Amethyst ring, maybe a candidate for the regal orb. Maybe make it rare. I think this is about the most amount of regen that I'm going to have, other than just vitality naturally leveling. I think at this point, most of the tree is probably just scaling damage, getting like the fire wheel. Ooh, it's kind of spooky. Fire and ignite resistant. Oh, thanks. Thanks. You know what, though? I'd rather take these guys than guys that do chaos damage, so I'm okay with that. Ooh, a rare shield. 38 life. And that's a total of 20 all elemental resistances. That's better than this. And it's got a better armor roll. It's just better. Our life goes up by 12 life. Our armor goes up by 1%. And our resistances go over cap by another 11%. That's good. That's good. It's just good. I'm good with it. Bada boom, baby. Nobody kills me when I'm level 57. Ha! Nobody. Oh, scroll of wisdom. Vitality leveling up. There we go. We're liking that. What am I doing with this passive point? We already got spiritual aid, didn't we? Yep. Okay. Next up, probably coming up and grabbing Purity of Flesh, so that way we've got plenty of chaos resistance for Dodre. The realm is restarting in 30 minutes. What? Well, there we go. You know, what Chris says. Is this our fault, Dakota? Did they figure out how to nerf your Guardian Aura Stacker? Oh no! We've been talking about it too much. Dan Rather's interview with the President of New Zealand has now provided the exposure needed. No! Oh man, we're having too much fun around here. Life cannot be leached? Okay, well, I don't want to leech your life. I just want to stay alive. Stay alive. Stay alive. You know, one thing this character doesn't have is spell suppression. But that's okay, right? Because we transform so much elemental damage. Haste Aura. Covered in ash. There you go, buddy. So let's come up here. Oh, eventually if I get some more passive points into intelligence, I might be able to swap off some of my passives that are right now spec'd into. Oh, that was close. Whoo! Okay. Did not see that was exploding purple man. Did not see that. But that was exploding purple thing. We're alive. We're alive. We're okay. Oh, Orb of Regret. Nice. That's a full Orb of Alchemy drop right there. Orb of Regret goes to full alchemy with Trading Vendor. That's really good. That's really good. Man, these guys are all making me bleed. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Okay, so I kind of want to drop this off before I die to Malagaro, just in case. Just in case. That's one heck of a scepter. It is. I'm very, very pleased with the scepter drop. When that scepter dropped, I think we were even talking about it. We were like, oh man, I really could use a weapon upgrade. And then it was like, boom. It's like, oh, that's really good. Oh, I put that in 4 links. It's not 4 links. It goes in the leveling junk. There we go. This is a magic amethyst flask. It's got 2 uses to it. This has got 2 uses as well. Oh, it's got reduced effect? That's why it's not just full on freeze immune, huh? Well, that's obnoxious. Okay, don't take this over to Yina right now. And let's turn this into an alchemy. There we go. Alright, so we now have an alchemy. So that's good. That's bleeding immunity. I don't think I need the sapphire flask anymore, right? Because I'm overcapped. Yeah, we're 94%. So let's do that. Alright, let's go kill Malagaro. During the downtime through my POB in the Discord, so you can see some of the changes I made to my build. Nice. Excellent, Dragosi. We'll take a look. We will take a look. Alright, let's go try and kill Malagaro. You are covered in ash, good sir. Haha. Alright, he's already phased. Alright, kill the spider. Cover in ash. Haha. You are cursed and covered in ash, good sir. Watch the chaos. Aha, spider is dead. Alright, kill Malagaro. Aha, you are taunted. You are cursed. Haha. Okay. Aha, you are covered in ash. Alright, Malagaro. Alright, down he goes. Let's pick up the Black Venom. Give that to Silk, who's definitely not a creepy stalker guy. Alright, and let's go down and access the den. I would say so far today's been a pretty good stream, you know? I mean, I would say the highlight so far has been we got rid of our duelist. I mean, I don't think I've ever lost a character and felt less bad about it. I think I've pretty much always felt worse. Like that champion, that was bad. It was a bad character. Maybe we play Explosive Arrow champion now. I probably don't have any of the right supports, but, you know, maybe we'll find them. Who knows? Ooh, yikes. That's spooky. It revives. These guys, oh, these guys are all chaos. Okay, pop my amethyst flask. Pop my amethyst flask again. Okay, that's chromatic. Okay, I came down onto the labyrinth side of it. So go this way. Is this going to be a dead end? Maybe. Maybe. I do like that I'm out regenning the caustic ground in the area. At least from the normal monsters. Am I out regenning it from these guys too? Yeah, I'm out regenning it from these guys. Look at the difference. That's only 14 chaos resistance is the difference. Like, I'm not even positive of my chaos resistance, but that is the difference between out regenning caustic ground versus not out regenning it. So that's a pretty big deal. If I can cap my chaos resistance somehow, it's going to have to come through items, but that would be absolutely ridiculous if I could do that. I need to get my health up as well, actually. I should be aiming for like 2,500 health here. Just so that way I've got enough time to actually hit my panic flasks, right? Spreads caustic, okay. You are covered in ash, haha. And you are flammable, haha. Alright, we're full up on this. Nice swift affliction, just grew a level, this is good. Whew. I find it funny that people default defend Path of Math without having seen the clips. I have not seen a thing. I've not seen a thing. Were there clips of something? I don't know. Just in general, I hope that if there was a reason why somebody was banned, I hope that eventually they can come back. Okay. There should be, what, 2 passives? Are there 2 passives that I'm going to get here? Or is it only 1? In the rest of this act, I don't remember. Alright, we're going to sell all the rest of these. We're going to put these in leveling junk. Put these in jewelry. I've got 2 amethyst rings. So if I ever get my cold and lightning super duper high, I could swap off one of them to go more chaos. I might even swap off one of them actually, just for the chaos resistance on those. I might do that. Stuff that's not great, not a good look for sure. Path of Math has a permaban. Oh, that's no bueno then. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Let's see if my golem will die in here. The last time I actually had my golem up, he was just primarily dying, and so wasn't really worth having around. But we'll see if he stays awake. Or if he gets put to sleep permanently. I am taking build guide suggestions or build ideas for the duelist. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to go explosive arrow. But it'll be manual cast explosive arrow. That's the thing. It's going to be manual cast explosive arrow. Because I don't have a support totem. Support ballista totem. Oh! Oh, Alva could be so good. Oh, but there's the Chaos Spitters in there. I'm not doing Alva. Oh, man. I'm gonna die if I do an Alva. I'm not doing Alva. I'm not doing that. I don't have the damage to kill the unique guys that are in there, right? There's no way. There's no way I'm gonna have the damage. Right? Guys, tell me I'm right in skipping Alva. Alva's probably really good. But there's no way. There's no way. I feel like Maybe what we'll do for the private league next league is maybe we'll do Ruthless Softcore. Maybe we'll do that because Ruthless in and of itself already has a pretty heavy built-in penalty for like if you die to a boss, it resets. So maybe that's what we'll do for the private league. Maybe we'll up like the damage that guys can do and their resistances. So we'll make it more difficult, but we won't make it so that way you lose your character. I don't know. I'll have to put a poll out amongst all of our Patreon supporters for when we decide to do that. Okay, chill and cold freeze resistant. Okay, don't care. Alright, pop this. I think those are chaos spitters over there. I think that's what the green is, right? Yeah, it's a poison. So if there are enough of them, that would hurt. That's a physical slam from the bears. I'm only at 66%. Oh, Chaos Orb, full drop. Nice, let's go. Woo! We are just raking in the currency today. We got a Regal Orb today. Got a Chaos Orb. Whew. Alva's actually the only master whose content I always skipped. Found a memory of hers in a tier 14 map and had to go back to Act 7 to complete her quest. Oh, yikes. See, Righteous Fire, one of the reasons why it feels so good compared to all my other builds is the damage uptime. Even when I'm not throwing any traps right now, this guy's still taking damage. And that just, look, no hands, Mom. Like, it feels better to be doing that damage and staying mobile than it does to be playing a character like the Duelist that's using Cyclone. Even though I'm the one doing the damage, it still feels better to stay even more mobile. If that makes any sense. I don't know. There's something that's just very chill about Righteous Fire. Also, the fact that you have to build tanky, the skill like makes you build tanky, so that way you don't kill yourself, is also just a really helpful kind of kick in the pants to build the build in a way that's beneficial to you. Man, if we're already talking about like doing a private league for next league for Ruthless, man, I'm gonna have to think about like what build I would play. I would want to play something that's relatively. I said this yesterday, I think, or the day before. No, I didn't stream the day before, or the stream before yesterday's stream. I think if I was not trying to level up so many different characters, I would definitely just be focused on playing one character and progressing through the Atlas. Because like I haven't even touched the Atlas since I've come back at all. So I've looked at the Atlas passive tree, but I haven't played around. So, okay, Chaos Spitters are here, so that's a thing. So be aware of that. There are lots of snakes and Chaos Spitters here. They're called Sentry Apparatuses. They do a lot of damage. Especially when they're grouped up like this. The Vol Pyramid. Whoop. And if they are magic or rare, they can potentially one-shot you. Empower as allies. That's kind of a spooky one. Yeah. This is again why when you switch over to Righteous Fire, you want to make sure that you're not just breaking even, but you still have a positive regen because you're so used to using it. At least if you're anything like me, I'm so used to using life regen as a defensive layer to keep my character alive. Like if you don't have that regen there and you're just reliant on flasks, especially with the reduced flasks that we get from Ruthless, you're just asking to get yourself killed. Yeah, I'm playing Pox's RF build in regular Sanctum, and it's pretty good. It's my first RF character. There you go. How you liking it? It's how would you say it compares to another build where you've got to be much more active with your clicking? Like, there's a lot of players out there. I think his name is Wrecker of Days on the forum guides. Wrecker of Days always used to build guides I believe Record of Days has got some stuff that has happened in his life that has made it very difficult to play, multi-button builds. And so he's always built builds that have been essentially one-handed builds, and just more chill, as it were, in terms of their micro demand on the player. And I've always appreciated that about his build guides. Like, not all of us are playing the game shouldn't say in the same way. Not all of us are coming to the game with the same set of expectations of what's easy for us to play. Like, for some players, microing down a whole bunch of stuff is super duper easy, right? And it comes to them naturally. It's a part of their enjoyment from playing video games. For others, it doesn't. And so it's interesting and cool that there are different build guide creators out there, different people out there, coming from different backgrounds and different walks of life, that have got different perspectives on what makes a build enjoyable. Okay. And it's helpful, because if there's one of us out there that's like that, there's probably hundreds of us out there like that, I was shocked, by the way, speaking of hundreds of players out there like that, I was shocked when I asked the question on YouTube, how many of you have tried Ruthless? I was shocked that there was even more than 10% of people here on the channel have tried out Ruthless. So that was pretty encouraging to me, that we're basically a Ruthless only stream since I've come back, but there's enough players that really enjoy Ruthless that we're able to have Ruthless discussions. That surprised me. The numbers on that poll really surprised me. I thought it would be low single digits when I initially asked the question. I was like, oh, this is going to be 90% of people just laughing and saying Ruthless is for dummies. I was like, oh, no, nope. Oh, full drop orb of all alteration. Nice. Oh, that was an augmentation. Nice, even better. All right, there's a minion, so there's a rare Chaos Spitter here. We're going to pop our Chaos Flask. Why can't I get through this guy? Thank you. That's where my Ranger would have phasing, right? My Ranger would have phasing from the chance to gain phasing on a kill. Extra crits, yikes. Ooh. Did he freeze me? Something. Alright, this is a passive point as well. Oh, it's a walking sim? Yeah, isn't it great though? I mean, for some players it's not great. I get it. For some players they don't like it. It's if possible, it's an even more chill playstyle than playing as a Necro, playing as a Summoner. It's even more chill, which I appreciate. Yeah, he plays on console? Oh, I didn't realize that. So you know more about Record Days. Okay. He plays on console, and you have to choose builds that make it easier to play. Not so many buttons to press at one time. That makes sense. I think my Golem is staying alive better. Ooh, I'm dex capped. Okay, that's a bummer. Don't like being dex capped. I don't think I'm going to get very much more dex. Ooh, nice. 2 rares. I don't think I'm going to get very much more dex on this tree. I guess there's 30 more here that I could get. The realm is restarting in 10 minutes. Oh no, guys, we got to rush to find the waypoint. Can we find the waypoint before the server goes down? Find out next time on Bald Man is Slow. Oh, that's a lot of spiders. Whoa, that's a lot of spiders. Okay, this is the statue, so this is notoriously the wrong way, right? There's some dead giveaway about this zone, about which way is the right way, and I always screw it up. Without fail. she over here? No, we already came over here. Is she further to the left? Oh my goodness, she's always further to the left. To the left, to the left. Whoa, hey. Applies a random mark. Okay. Warlord's mark. Whoa, hey. What is the damage? Everyone enjoys something different, and it's good that people enjoy Ruthless. Yeah, when it was first announced, it was kind of like, oh, that's a meme and nobody's going to enjoy it. Nobody's going to play it except like Chris and one or two of the people who are working on it. But it's like, you know, I don't know if people... There's a lot of people who have started to play... This is going to sound super elitist. So, you know, you can call me super elitist. That's fine. I'm aware that I'm going to sound super elitist at the moment. People forget that Path of Exile was labeled not a successor to Diablo 3, but a successor to Diablo 2. Now, I did not play Diablo 2. Growing up, you know, many moons ago, I was not a Diablo 2 guy. Okay? I was not into gaming at that point as a hobby or professionally. However, we've got to remember that Diablo 2 has got a much different pace of play to it at the vast majority of the game. There are certain builds that are ridiculous. But a lot of the game has got a vastly different pace of play to it than, let's say, Diablo 3. And it's aiming for a totally different audience than, let's say, Diablo 3. And so, keeping those things in mind, Ruthless being more in the image of what Path of Exile 1.0 was always going to produce something that was probably less appealing. Path of Exile 1.0 was not that appealing to people. And what people have complained for and desired since 1.0 came out, a lot of players in the community have desired for more options to speed up their gameplay. So... Hey, welcome, Geth. Success. Watch stream at 2 times. I've caught up on everything I missed and now live. Nice. Excellent. Well, I'm glad you made it, friend. The hardest part in Ruthless is starting maps, IMO. Oh, wow. Well, that's not very encouraging to me. Yikes. That means that there's even more difficult stuff to what I'm at. That's kind of exciting. But for hardcore solo self-found, that's also kind of daunting. It's like, oh man, it gets harder than this? Holy smokes. Whoa! Double resistances and life and intelligence on those boots. We're keeping those boots. Oh, chance to suppress, move speed, and all elemental resistance. Okay, we're keeping that. We're keeping that as well. We're starting to find some gear here. All right. So we got a Chaos Orb here. We're nearly at a second Alchemy. Let's put this in leveling junk. This is a passive point here, right? When we turn this in? Yep, thank you much. All right. And we're going to go grab Purity of Flesh, right? Yeah, there we go. Purity of Flesh. Oh, I haven't taken the Life Mastery. That's right. I respect some of my Life Mastery so that way I could switch over to RF. So that gives us 2,400 life, so that's good. And for defenses, we're up to -8% for Chaos. So I feel like that's pretty good. All right, let's go take a look at... whose POB were we taking a look at? I forget. We were going to take a look at Geth's. There we go. Weren't we? No, we were going to look at Dragosi's. There we go. Dragosi's was giving us an update based off of the other day. So let's import Dragosi's. Okay, I'm going to have to remember. This is a summoner, right? Dragosi, are you playing... You're not playing minion instability. Okay. Dragosi, let's go look and see. You posted it, hopefully, in the build guide section. This is, by the way, why I like for everybody to post their POBs in the build guide help section, because then I can go back and look at it. Okay, so Dragosi said the other day, I'm playing SRS based around Baylor's build, but not his budget build. My gear is solid and I have access to ashes. Blah, 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 blah. I don't feel tanky enough. My damage feels okay. So this is where he was. All right, this is what I like to do. I like to show this is where the player was and this is where they're at today. So thank you for giving us your POB to take a look at. And we can compare where you were at and where you are at now. I should probably pull this up, huh? Let's pull this up. What are the patch notes? Sanctum changes. The death toll major affliction no longer causes monsters to drop no Aurelius coins. Instead, it now causes you to lose 250 resolve after completing 8 rooms. Whoa! Herald of the Scourge's lightning waves skill now spawns more lightning bolts with each wave. Though the lightning bolts are now smaller, the delay between each wave has been slightly increased, and the damage of the skill has been lowered. Okay, so if they want more lightning bolts in the room, it's because they want less hitless runs, right? That's the goal there. The damage doesn't matter. They just want less hitless runs. Improved the visibility of the ground degen effect when fighting Lycia, the unholy heretic. That's good. Added an error message for attempting to change your relics while you have an active sanctum running. Improvements and other changes. Ruthless specific changes. Oh, guys! Okay, what happens? The Imagined Pursuits Atlas passive in Ruthless now causes cluster jewels from Delirium rewards to have a 10% chance to be rare and corrupted instead of 800% increased rarity of clusters. That's interesting. Fixed a bug where Vol Venom Gyre was able to be obtained in Ruthless. That's weird. Okay. All right, cool. Oh, nice. The Voidborn Reliquary Key. Updated various descriptions to clarify which stats only apply to summoned skeletons and which also apply to Vol summoned skeletons. Nice. The visual effect applied to monsters and modifiers that cause minions to fire, cold, lightning, death, explode on death has been removed, as it caused visual issues in some circumstances. Okay. Betrayal crafts that reroll socket numbers, links, or colors of a certain number of times can no longer be used on items with fixed socket numbers, links, or colors, respectively. The Geared Up achievement no longer requires a rare or unique item in the relic slot. Okay, cool. Cool changes. Cool, cool. Let's boast and say, cool, thank you. Cool. Cool. Thank you. We like it when we get told info. That's good. All right, let's go back over here to Tragosi's build. So this is where he was the other day. So the small POB is where he was at the other day. The big POB is where he's at now. So his SRS damage, it looks like it's up. On combined DPS, it looks like combined DPS is double. The changes are in some gearing stuff. There's 2 trees on the new one. Okay. And you've got a My Tree Now versus level 100 tree. Okay, good. I'm glad that you've got the My Tree Now thing. I don't like it when players show me like, well, this is the tree that I'm aiming for. Okay, it's good to tell me what you're aiming for, but I need to know what your character's actually at now. That's weird that Vol Venom Gyre was droppable in Ruthless since Venom Gyre is not available in Ruthless. Yeah, it's weird. It is an interesting bug. Crip has enjoyed his time on Ruthless and just made a video about it. I did watch that Crip video. Also, Tarky is playing Ruthless, and he's enjoying it as well. He makes fun of the drops like you. I love Tarky. He's got a great attitude about all things PoE. I very much enjoy him. I very much enjoy him. I feel like we're on the same page on a lot of things. So I very much appreciate his outlook on things. Okay, so let's take a look here. So your damage is doubled. Your effective life pool has more than doubled. Because look, your Fizz Max hit went up from 9,000 to 11,000. That's very good. Your Chaos went up from 4,400 to 5,600. That's good. Your total life went up by 500. That's good. Your Energy Shield went up by 7 plus 15. So 20-ish. Oh, no, that's your mana. My apologies. Where's your ES? ES is 1459, 1669. Okay, nice, guys. 69. Okay. So you went up 10% more on the tree over here. Your evasion went down by 10%. Okay, that's fine. You don't care about evasion right now. Your fizz reduction went up to 76%. That's what we're talking about, up from 65%. And your block chance is now... Ooh. This is without glancing blows, folks. Look at this. I think we were talking about glancing blows the other day. But look at this. Block chance, 75%. Spell block chance, 71%. That's really good. Spell suppression chance up from 74 up to 89%. That's really good. Chaos resistance up from 43 up to 23. That's good, man. Dude, you made some serious upgrades here. What were the upgrades you made? Okay, you got United and Dream. You got Aegis Aura. Here we go. Let's compare. Okay, your old helmet used to be a +2 with some life and some cold resistance and some suppression. Your new helm, oh, look at that, 14% chance to suppress. And it's still a +2 minion. It still have minions have increased movement speed. And you got fire, and you got lightning, and you got crafted life on there. That's a good helm. That's where your evasion's coming from. That is kind of funny. But that's a significant upgrade, Dragosi. This is significant. That's a significant upgrade. Okay, you got Covenant, and then gloves. Are you wearing the same gloves? Yep, Eagle Paw. Boots are the same. Amulet, same. Oh no, Amulet's not the same. You were using this rare Carrion Pendant, the Jade Amulet, and now you've got All's Uprising. Nice. Nice. Haste has no reservation. Wowee. Yeah, exactly what Geth said. What did that helm cost you? His second-born child? His first-born child he already sold out, so that way he had the Covenant. Also, All's Uprising. That's no joke. Okay, any other upgrades here? Ring number 1 is Hypnotic Circle. Okay, so you made 2 changes to the rings. So you were using an unset ring for stats. You needed attributes and rarity. And then your second ring was... yeah, minion increase attack speed, cast speed, and some minion elemental. We don't really care about that, right? Your minions are doing fine. They're doing fine, right, Dragosi? So, shouldn't really care about it. Now you've got the stats that you need. You've still got the socket. You've still got increased rarity. You've also got cold resistance, and you've got life on ring number 1. Yeah, so that's good. You gave up the +2 to levels, but what are you socketing in there? Probably one of your auras, right? Vol Haste, okay. But it's got no reservation. Yeah, there you go. You could potentially swap that out. Well, yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, your second ring was giving you no life whatsoever. And now your second ring is giving you 52 crafted life. Minions deal 42% increased damage. Holy smokes! That's 7% of your damage right there. Minions have plus all to elemental resistances. It's also giving you strength. It's also giving you rarity of items found. And it's giving you fire resistance. That's really good. All right, Darkness Enthroned. So that way you got the Abyssals. Did you make Abyssal changes? Nope. Abyssal changes are still the same. Oh, and you made some changes down here. You were using the Hollow Eye, or the Hollow Vision, and the Ancient Glare. Okay, so you made this change. So this one was minions deal 18 to 27 additional chaos and some additional fire. And then you had additional physical damage reduction against abyssal monsters, and you had some resistances on it. Now you've got the Enthralling Vision. Minions have 10% chance to poison enemies on hit. Nice. Minions deal additional chaos damage, and minions have 6% chance to blind on hit. Okay, so does that cap out your minion chance to poison? $60, $22, $17, $10. Okay, there you go. So you're over by what, 5%? But that's fine. Haste is in the ring? Okay. The jewels were 99% chance to poison to 100% chance to poison? Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. I think we looked at that the other day, didn't we? Where you said you were close to it? Yeah, you were at 99%. Yeah. But hey, now every time they're attacking, they're poisoning. But look at your damage. Like, your damage has gone up considerably. Where is it over here? Where's SRS? It is included. Okay. Your full DPS, 405 versus, what was it, 2-0? Yeah, 208. You've doubled. That's good, man. Also, what's your poison duration at the moment? Max stacks is 23. Look at this. Your max stacks were 15. That's a lot. Also, your increased damage went up by, what, 80%? It's really good. And your more went up by 70%. Really good. How do you see the full DPS in the bottom left of POB? Click on skills and then go to the skill gem configuration that you want. And up here in the middle of POB, there will be include in full DPS. I think that's a relatively new feature since I've come back. So that way it all just displays here on the left-hand side. Yeah, it must feel really good to double the damage. Yeah, that's got to feel really good. That's got to feel really good on your build. All right, well, it is nearly bedtime here at the Draconis household. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say goodnight to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us for the stream. And I'm going to go put kids to bed, say their prayers, tell them maybe some stories, because, you know, I do occasionally write children's books, and they're all based off of stories I tell my kids. So if I don't tell my kids any stories, how am I going to write another children's book about the Donkey Knight? But anyway, thanks so much for joining us today. Thanks for everybody who's subscribed to the channel, who's sent encouraging words. I really appreciate the community that we have around here. A lot of people talk a lot of crap about YouTube comments and how toxic people are on the internet, but I don't really run into that here in the G3 community as we're playing Path of Exile. So I really appreciate that. I really enjoy that everybody likes to hang out, ask good questions, help one another out. I appreciate that there's a sense of humility in the community where when we don't know something, we ask and we try to learn together. So I greatly appreciate that about each of you, willing to spend your time and your efforts and contribute your thoughts to one another, to people who you've never met before, just to help play a game and help have a better day. So thanks so much for hanging out. Tomorrow, I'm going to be back. I'm going to try and do like an 8 or 10 or 12-hour stream tomorrow. I'm going to just basically wake up, eat breakfast. I've got the day off from work. At least that's what's scheduled. And I'm going to try and wake up and just knock out some characters going all the way to Kitava. So if you're not doing anything tomorrow, or if you are doing something tomorrow and you just want to hang out, then I encourage you to stop by tomorrow, where we'll be playing some more Ruthless, progressing some more characters, hopefully not making our death counter go up any longer or any higher, but hopefully making the Act 10 Kitava death counter go up. So thanks so much for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow when we play some more Path of Exile together.